Yeah, I had to cancel the other stream because accidentally a kid was accidentally in the background because he just got home from school. Uh, anyways, yeah. What was I talking about? It totally threw me off. There's supposed to be snow is coming tonight. Where I live, it's supposed to snow all the way down to 1,000 feet, and it's gonna mess up the roads. And I'll probably have to, if I have to work tomorrow, I'll probably have to get a ride to work. That's gonna suck because I hate being dependent. I like being independent, and I hate weather. Oh, hello, new subscriber, right? You just subscribed to my channel. Thank you very much. I just saw that, and I saw you were on Barbara Aranda's channel, and we were talking about some pretty funny stuff. Some of it was funny, and then there were some bad people on there too that were saying things that were wrong. And she gave me a wrench, which is really nice. So, sorry about the angle of the camera, but I don't want to accidentally put my kid on the video because I live in a really small apartment, so it's possible for my son to drift in and out of the photo. So I wanted to make sure he wasn't in it because they're real strict about that, about kids not being in the video. So yeah, I was watching. Anyone ever watch Joe Imbriano? Wiki Joe. Like he talks about things, talks about all the toxic stuff, everything, and how television stuff is really bad for our kids, and even video games are bad for our kids, and kids aren't learning how to read and write correctly. They're all on electronics and stuff. Yeah, it's weird, huh? That well, it's not weird that he talks about it. It's actually true. It's just not really popular to talk about it. And he lives in Southern California. He doesn't wear sunglasses. He says that he prefers books that were written in the 1950s opposed to new books that are written now that are just full of trash and witchcraft and um, uh, vampires and stuff. He said that he doesn't like those kind of books, and he's like, there's just too much electronic screens and all that. Kids aren't reading. People aren't reading paper. They're reading off screens. He's right. He's absolutely right. And he lives in Southern California. It's really beautiful there too, where he lives. It's, nice weather, beautiful weather. Unlike where I'm at, where it's freezing cold and frosty and kind of messed up. So, yeah. And Barbara Netta, she like make all the stuff on her stream. She makes it pop out, but I'm not sure how you do that. I'm gonna try it right now, see if it works. So I don't know. Oh, that's what it means. That's not working. So I'm gonna click off that. I'm kind of bugged out in the corner here because I don't want my son to end up in the stream or my cat. Because my cat's like trying to bug me right now because he notices I'm preoccupied. So he's like trying to smack at me at my sleeve on my shirt and trying to keep him from getting his paw in the corner of the video because that's so easy, for something to whiz by when you're recording something randomly. You can't stop it, especially with this being a live stream. So basically, anything can happen when you're trying to scream, live stream a video, and then have something go right past, and then oh no, then you have to stop the stream and then not have it post on YouTube because then they're gonna view it and then they're gonna say, oh, uh there's a something that's not supposed to be in your video. You said it was for kids or something. It's like, oh no. It's like I can't even show you my Snoopy collection that I have or my Snoopy videos because those are considered childlike. So yeah, and I called my original podcast or a podcast, my original stream. I think it was called Random or something, but I had to. It said that something about my encoder didn't work, but then I restarted a brand new one just now, and it was fine. But I don't understand why I can't pre-schedule a stream and then just click record when I'm ready to start recording it. I don't understand that. It's like, and it just does that all of a sudden where it says you can't do that. It's like I don't have time to correct that. So they're trying to click this and that and that and downloading stuff. I don't want to download stuff. So now I can't like pre-plan a stream because because YouTube is like making it impossible. And Barbara now is she's really cool. She said that people weren't getting notifications of her live stream until like an hour, hour and a half after she started recording. And that's not cool because um, she's got over 700 subscribers and she should have all of them being alerted that she's live streaming. And at least half of those people that are subscribed to her should be watching. At least, I think, people that are busy or whatever would be watching it. And they're not because they're probably not getting the alert, like she said, until later on. And then by then, she's already done recording. And if she doesn't do a very long stream, then by the time they get it, she's already done recording. And then what if they don't watch it? Because they weren't there live. They didn't watch her live feed. And live streams are very random. They can be very random, depending on the content of the conversation and also the comments that people are putting up. So she should be getting at least half of her subscribers should be watching her live streams, her screens, streams. They should be watching, and they're not. And she's getting cheated out of her her audience, which is really disgusting. And then she gets these weirdo trolls that come on her channel and they say disgusting things. And she didn't let it get under her skin. She just deleted their comments. She had the comments deleted because they're inappropriate and they were criticizing her. Some lady criticized her for being a Christian and saying, "Oh, if you're a Christian, you can't wear a hat on your head or something." And it's like, what? That's retarded. Uh, you could still be a Christian and wear a hat on your head. It doesn't take away from the fact that you love God. It's just a thing. It's just an article of clothing. It's nothing. But I think those people are just jealous because they can't create an audience and they saw how many people she has watching or how many people she's got subscribed to her and they're just jealous. And because they can't create anything because they can't be creative themselves. So they have to kick people down that are being creative and following the word of God as you're being creative. And did you see that she called the Department of Water Resources and she wanted to talk to a representative about why uh, the live cam is not on the Orville Dam, and they didn't. They gave the lady on the switchboard gave her the phone number of I believe the director of water resources, and it was a cell phone number, and the woman didn't answer the phone, and it was disconnected or something, or it was not even a valid number. It's because they don't want us to know about the dam. I guess they don't want us to know that there's freaking cracks in it and stuff, and they got fencing around it. And they have what's called the Army of Engineers, which is connected to the government, the federal government, and now they're in charge of the dam. And they put all this fencing around it so people can't really access or see where the cracks are and the weaknesses are in the dam. And if we end up getting a huge rainstorm, a lot of rainstorms in the next couple of months, who knows what that dam's going to do? It could break and it could flood out the entire Central Valley and flood out all of our crops and everything. We've already have problems with our crops in the Midwest. There's a shortage of food. That's why they said the price of food's going up because there's a shortage. So, we should hunker down and get our seeds, just like Di Bullfrog has been talking about. We need to prepare because there could be a food shortage. So, you know what? The idea of an indoor greenhouse is sounding better and better all the time because I think we as Americans are lacking in nutrition because we eat so much junk food and we don't eat enough fruits and vegetables. And yeah, when we were little kids, we used to complain because your mom would make you eat salad and stuff and broccoli. And now we're just like, yo, I'm just going to eat macaroni and cheese. But you know what? It's not so good for you now, right? It's not good for you. It's crap, and that's probably why we feel sluggish and stuff. So I think people should invest in these indoor greenhouses and buy lots of seeds and soil, and you're gonna have to invest the money in a grow light, kind of like you're growing weed, but instead of growing weed, uh, you're growing food. So it's just a good idea. I think it's a really good idea, and I'm thinking about investing it, even though I don't have any freaking room in my apartment. My cat's probably gonna knock it over. He'll probably jump on in the middle of the night and try to take a dump in my plants, right? He'll like try to break through and get inside of it and poop in it. But that's the price I got to pay. And you know what? Eventually, he'll get bored with it. He'll leave it alone, like he does everything else. The cat I have, he messes with stuff, but after a few days, he gets bored with it. So you know what? It might be a great idea. And you know what? Later on, I might research looking up indoor greenhouses and getting a grow light or something and trying to grow like little uh, lettuces and stuff like that. And we know what's in it because you're growing it yourself. You know it doesn't have any pesticides on it, that kind of thing that makes you sick. They had to get rid of romaine because what they say it had salmonella or something on it, and people were getting sick. And when you go to restaurants, you can't even. I don't think you can't even get romaine lettuce for a salad anymore because it's toxic. I think they probably banned the growing of romaine lettuce, even in the greenhouses, those mass greenhouses. So, so people aren't really getting nutrition. So, and I feel it. I feel it that we're just eating too much junk, and we're getting fat, and we're getting poisoned by all this crap that's in the air. And Barbara Netta, she does. I know I'm giving her a lot of press, but she deserves it because she gave me a wrench on her channel, so I'm kind of feeling kind of cocky right now. You know what I mean? So I'm like, that's cool. That's my first wrench I ever had, and you know, I silenced a couple of trolls on her channel that were writing some pretty disgusting things and were uncalled for. It's like, why do you come onto her channel? You know what her channel's about. It's about chemtrails. And if you don't believe in chemtrails, you don't believe in God and all that, then just don't go on her channel. Just leave her alone. Go somewhere else. Go watch Harry Potter or something and go watch that garbage. So right now I'm cooking a turkey or a turkey frozen turkey thing, and then I'm gonna eat some broccoli, and then who knows what the hell's on it, right? What kind of chemicals are the broccoli's probably gonna kill me more than the turkey because it's artificial stuff, like enzymes, not enzymes, but preservatives they put on them to make them not spoil or freezer burn or something. Has anyone thought of like what you can grow inside of a indoor greenhouse, like the kind of things you can actually grow? No, not a turkey log. That's heck of funny. No, it's a turkey leg and breast that you buy it and you cook it. You just want some turkey, but you don't want to have to cook a whole turkey, but you want fresh cooked turkey. It's one of those. It's in a pan. It's really cool, and I love it. And it fills you up, makes you feel satisfied. Unlike the artificial crap that we buy, frozen meals that you cook, and they're like all rubbery and stuff. And so, how many people here have thought about getting an indoor greenhouse? Or how many people around on this channel have actually tried to grow like a little tree or something with a seed, like a lemon seed, try to grow its own tree? Like the yard I used to have, I used to try to grow stuff. I would start seeds in cups, and then I'd get a little tree growing, and I put it out in the yard, and I water it and stuff, and it'd start to grow the tree, the little stem, and grow a couple of leaves on it. It was actually very beautiful and very miracle like. I loved it. It made me think of God when I saw my beautiful little lemon tree starting to sprout up, and I had beautiful little uh, baby apple trees grown from seeds. So awesome. And uh, the sad thing is when we left the place I lived at, I saw it again, and I saw that sad made me mad too. That they chopped it all up. I guess the little trees that I grew from seeds, they just didn't appreciate the same way I did. All they tried to do is cut all the weeds down, but they ended up killing my trees while they did it. The only thing that survived was a couple of my rose bushes and this cactus I had. That was about it. Everything else cut all chopped up, and it kind of took away my faith too because I ended up in an apartment with no yard and stuff, and it's all dry grass. And we play ghetto tennis there out in the front. Sometimes we play ghetto tennis, and pretty sad, when you don't have a yard. But I'm gonna try to get one of those indoor greenhouses. I'm not gonna let this state kick me down and tell me I can't afford to have my own little spot to grow food. I'll just have to grow it inside. Oh, so you grew a indoor pineapple plant. That's cool. So did it actually? So it actually grew, huh? Does it actually? Do you actually get baby pineapples on it? Because if you do, that's really cool. Very cool. See, I never got to see my lemon tree grow any lemons on it because I had to move away because I couldn't find any work and we lost our place. And I told you in a previous video we ended up being homeless and I had to throw everything away. And me and my son ended up in a shelter for a few months, and then our time ran out because I couldn't find a place for us to live, and I was working, and we ended up in a tent. I bought a tent at the Big Five, and the three of us lived in it. And I went to work every day, and every day I'd look and make phone calls to try to find an apartment, and nobody had any openings. It just sucks. But we finally found this place, and I'm depressed. I feel depressed being here because there's no yard. But I'm gonna think about getting a indoor greenhouse because I've seen online there's some people have tried it and they're successful. But unfortunately, we don't get a lot of light that comes in our apartment through our windows. They're very we have a lot of shadows, we have a big brick wall in front of us so it blocks out the light. So I'll just get one of those grow lights, not for weed though, right? For just the plants. But anyone on here tried to grow oh you have yeah, you have garden videos? So you've already done it. You've already done the indoor uh greenhouse and you've been successful. It's too bad more people don't watch your channel because if they did, people would start straying away from all this fast food stuff, the stuff that makes you sick and makes you fat and makes you more depressed and makes you more poor. It takes away a lot of your income if you buy a lot of food out, and it makes you feel sluggish and sick. And a lot of these companies are promoting globalism. They're actually against us. Big 30-pound birds are legendary. Oh, you mean the 30-pound birds, like as in turkeys? Yeah, I know this one lady I watch, Backyard Farms or whatever. Can't remember her name, but she's subscribed to my channel. She's not on here right now, but she has a turkey and chicken farm, and she lives in upstate New York, I think. And kind of jealous of that because I love farming and I like animals and stuff. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think it's called Popple Farms. Popple Farms channel. Does anyone recognize that name? Popple Farms. She has a channel called Popple Farms, which is cool because I like her channel, and it's snowed up where she lives, and she's got her chicken and her turkeys, and she got rabbits, and I think she eats them, the meat rabbits, and then they eat the chickens and the turkeys. Of course, the turkeys and the chickens, you shouldn't feel bad about eating them because they only live about 3 years, I think, and then they die. Because I've had chickens, and just one day you come into the coop and you see one slumped over dead, but you know they're dying anyway because they stop producing eggs after a while. They don't lay anymore, and then you know that their lifespan is basically run out. But that's okay. That's fine. That's why they were put on the earth is to serve us, and we do enjoy their company and stuff, but they do have a short life, and then eventually they become our dinner, and we appreciate the meat they provided. They're going to die anyway, and they're going to become part of compost. So you might as well eat them and stop going to the grocery store and buying all this meat and all this milk and stuff. You might as well grow your own stuff. So that's just my opinion. But I'm glad I called it random because it is random because I don't have a particular subject in mind. I'm not going to sit around talking about um, Donald Trump and all the troubles Donald Trump is having. There's not really much we can do about those problems. All we can do is try to deal with our own problems. Donald Trump will take care of Donald Trump, and his administration will keep him safe and keep him in his office. It's just, he's making a few mistakes, and we're starting to feel it, and he's not really cracking down on the homeless problem here. He said he was going to send the feds out here, and um, it's not happening. I don't hear about any feds coming out here to go after our leaders in our state. They're just running amok, and us Californians here are stuck having to pay the tab. It sucks because everything keeps going up. But one thing I can say though is the apartment I live in, it's not very cold in here because it's insulated because I have all these other people, their hot bodies and their hot breath all around me stacked on top of each other. It keeps the apartment pretty warm. So I don't have, at least I don't have that to complain about. You know what I mean? What do, what you do, Red Dawn, is have a regular hangout with people who just talk for a while. Yeah. Yeah, I actually appreciate the live streams better than I do just recording a video and then putting it up and then waiting to see what people think. Because this way I can at least see live what people think instead of just putting it up and just going, you like it or you don't like it, and I don't know if people like it. It's better that people see it live and then they can decide if they like the channel. And I'm hoping from my video or the videos I've created that other people become inspired to make videos too. And maybe change a few lives or change a few ideas of how people look at things. Um, but I'm pretty creative. Not currently because I live here, but I did come up with a few Christmas decorations that were homemade that I made myself. I look in the store and I'm like, I see already made decorations and I don't really like them. They're just kind of a waste of money. I just make my own stuff. That's the way it used to be. People used to make their own decorations. So what are you guys doing for Christmas? You already have all your everything set up, like your tree and all that. Hopefully you guys are functional and you communicate with your family and you're gonna have a decent Christmas. You're not gonna be fighting with anybody and you'll be at least somewhat happy even though we live in a corrupt world. So it's all you can hope for is that you still get along with your family. Lord knows I don't get along with my family. I feel like I'm on a lifeboat by myself, floating. And I am somewhat depressed too, because I ain't been working lately. I haven't been working. They've been calling me off a lot. So my boyfriend just came home. He's kind of weirded out that I'm online talking on a live stream because it's kind of not normal around here for me to talk to a screen. Usually I'm just staring at YouTube or something mindlessly looking at someone else's mindless crap. That's cool. How do you wipe your counter off with the baking soda? Gee, I didn't know how to do that. Thanks for reminding me. So, yeah, my boyfriend, he used to have a beard, but he shaved it all off. So he looks very good right now. But he's not feeling very good either. He looks good, but he doesn't feel good. But we're waiting on that stupid storm to come in, and ruin the roads. And I don't have a 4-wheel drive. I just have this crappy car that's it's not a crappy car, but it doesn't have 4-wheel drive. So so I'm looking forward to not being able to drive anymore. So I that's why I say I'd rather live on a farm because then I could grow my own food and I could, kill a chicken or two and cook it in the oven and not have to go to the store very much except for like for toilet paper or something because you can't grow toilet paper on trees or plants or something, so you have to buy that stuff. So some people, you're not doing Christmas, huh? No Christmas for me this year. Lost my oldest son in June. Still trying to. Oh, sorry about that. That sucks. June, huh? Hasn't been that long. That makes me sad. How often do you uh how often do you visit his grave? I wouldn't want to visit it. It'd probably make me feel really bad. I'd just rather remember my child is the way they were before all that happened. That sucks. Oh, oh, that sucks. Was he at work or something? Oh, it's terrible. Oh, No grave, huh? Did you, I know it's none of my business. Did you have him, cremated? That's terrible. Did you have a good relationship with him before he died? Yeah, that's making me feel really bad. Just the story you just said about your son, he hung himself on accident. Oh God. Oh God, that's terrible. Oh, oh, that's terrible. Did you, do you have any grandkids by your son? Oh, that sucks. It's hard because you don't want you don't want to see your children die before you. That's terrible. Oh God. Do you have any other children besides your son? Like a daughter or another son? Yeah, that's did he believe in God? Oh, so you have one granddaughter. How's your how's your granddaughter dealing with it? She okay? Do you spend time with her? Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. At least you have your granddaughter. At least you have your granddaughter to remember him by. You have a piece of him still that's here. But I hope he's with God and he's okay. Oh, how's your kids dealing with that? I'm sure they're not happy about it. Were they really close with their sibling? Oh, okay. Was your child he died? Was he a laborer? Did he work a labor job? Is that how it happened? Yeah, my boyfriend, he had his best friend when he was in his 20s, he got a tree dropped on him. He was killed, and he was pretty upset about that. Sucks. Sucks when that happens. In the prime of their lives, they die, and just it seems unfair. Well, if your son was cremated, I mean, it's like it would be kind of hard to visit him because he's cremated. Electrician, but it happened at home. Oh, oh, that sucks. I hope he didn't suffer. So you just have one granddaughter and that's it. There's no other kids, grandkids besides the one. At least you still have your other kids, and your other kids are okay. Oh, so he was home alone when it happened. There was nobody home. Oh, I don't know what to tell you. Sorry to hear that. So your other kids successful too? Oh, you have two granddaughters. That's got to be hard for the kids because they don't have their dad. I guess God can be cruel and he can be kind at the same time. But I hate to say it, but he probably does it for a reason why these terrible things happen to us. But I say maybe he was selected by God to go when he did, and maybe he's an angel in heaven and he's helping God bring more souls to heaven. And maybe he try to help people that are Satanists to find God. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. But I can see why you like Barb Arnatta's channel because she reads the Bible a lot and it probably gives you some comfort being around other people that are Christian. It makes you feel a little better about what happened. Yeah, yeah, I don't know what I do if one of my kids died, that they got killed or something. It's terrible. Before he died, how long had it been since you've seen him? Did you uh did you visit him a lot before he died? Did you have a good relationship with him before he died? Oh, he loved God. That's good. Oh, so he wrote scripture on pieces of paper. So they had to have a detective come out when he died. So they had to do an investigation because because of the way it happened. Yeah, I have a terrible story for you. My sister, when she was 13, she used to run off all the time and she'd go to parties and stuff. And there was this boy that really liked my sister, and they used to go to parties and stuff all the time. And they they were playing with a gun, and they were playing Russian roulette, and they thought that there wasn't any bullets in the gun, that the gun was empty, and the gun went off and it shot her boyfriend or ex-boyfriend in the head, and he was standing up, and this blue stuff started coming out of his head, and then it turned pink, and then it turned red. But he was conscious for like 10 seconds, and my sister told me that he was looking at her when he was dying, or when the blood was coming out of him, he was looking at her, and then obviously he fell over and he died. It was just terrible, and they had to have a detective come out, and they had to have it treated as a crime scene, and they questioned everybody. Yeah, it's just insane how it happened. The boy was only 13 years old, and he used to call before he died. He used to call our house all the time, and he wanted to talk to my sister all the time. Sometimes I'd answer the phone, and he would be looking for my sister, and sometimes she wasn't home, and I'd just leave a message. But he seemed like he was really sad, and he really did like her, but she didn't like him too much because she had all these different boyfriends that she liked. But it was terrible because he used to be real suicidal and stuff, talk about suicidal stuff before he shot himself with the gun. So he died when he was 13, and the ironic thing is, they buried him in my trench coat that was mine, and I couldn't find it for a while, and I went to the funeral, and then I saw him wearing it, and it kind of then I figured it out what happened. My sister had it, and she gave it to him, and he was wearing it. See, that's the thing with my sister is she always had people that admired her all the time. Like tons of people admired her, and she just didn't really care about them. She just all she cared about was status and having more friends. I was the opposite. I had like one friend, one or two friends, but they were good friends, and they weren't popular or nothing, and they didn't want nothing from me. Yeah, it's just he's been dead for a long time. That kid that killed himself, and then not even 2 months later, another kid did it. He got shot by a BB gun. He was playing with a BB gun, and the BB went through his face, and it killed him. Just weird. Prayers for strength and comfort. My son died 7 years ago in a violent way. We know the breathless grief and the strength of the arms of our Savior. My husband's uncle died 15 minutes ago. Yeah, there's too much death. It's just too much death. My boyfriend's his grandparents died last year, and they were in their 90s. But his grandpa was in really good shape before he died too. He was like very strong, and he was still driving and stuff, and very nice person. We visited him a couple of times. They lived in Santa Rosa, and I never asked anything from him. We never asked for any money or anything, even though we were hurting financially. We never asked for anything because it wasn't their responsibility to carry us; it was ours. But they never judged us. His grandparents never judged us, and they were very nice and very accommodating. And we stayed at a Motel 6 down in Santa Rosa, and it was kind of expensive, but he wanted to visit his grandparents because he knew they were getting up there in years, and the rest of his family didn't really invest any time visiting them because they were busy with their own lives. And he was really close with his grandpa because his grandpa was a Catholic, and he's Catholic too. He's baptized. So, but his grandpa um, was very devout Catholic, and he used to go to confession and all that all the time, and he always went to church. And he lived a very modest life, even though he had a lot of money. And he was at Costco last year, and he had a stroke, and he fell and broke his femur bone, and then he had to go to the hospital. And he was okay until they did the surgery on him, and he didn't wake up from the anesthesia. And my boyfriend obviously was very upset by that. So, and he wasn't ready for him to die because he still wanted to spend more time with him before he died because he was real close with him. Yeah, I'm just nobody in my family's died that I'm close with has died, so I can't really relate. This morning, a dear friend's son, 26-year-old, died of OD. Yesterday, another young man with dear friends' only son died in a car accident in Texas. A day for prayer on my 41st anniversary, trusting our Abba. Yeah, it's just like seems like all the decent people are all dying, and you wish they were still around so you could talk to them. But apparently, God has another purpose for them. That's why they're not here. Like this one lady that I really liked. She was my ex's grandma. She was a very nice woman. She was from Toledo, Oregon, and she used to come down and visit my kids and her grandson, which is the turd that's the father of my kids. Um, but she used to come down and visit. And she was a very nice person, and she never judged me. She was always very nice to me, and she tried to teach me how to sew and stuff because she did alterations, and I really liked her because she was never judgmental of me. Because I always felt like I was being judged all the time by my ex's family. They were very cruel to me and very cold and very vain and very materialistic. And I wasn't, and they didn't really like me that much. But she was the only one out of his entire family that was extremely nice to me. Like she was like a grandma I never had. And I was sad to hear that she died. She went to a nursing home eventually and she died. Nobody gave a damn about her. But they carried on her last name. She was like her husband was the Hart name, and then they just kind of took it for granted and we turned into materialistic little bastards. And they're still kind of like that. They're all they care about is um, getting stuff, like putting tons of stuff under the Christmas tree and trying to impress each other that they're all that in a bag of chips. That's what I couldn't stand about his family. They weren't real. They were just fake. They didn't care about real conversations. They only care about fake ones. So I don't like people like that. Like they don't really care about what's really wrong. They don't ask. They just all they care about is the image they're portraying to others. And then if you don't toe the line and do everything they like, then you don't belong in their fold. And after a while, yeah, I started excusing myself from their fold because I didn't feel like I belonged, especially after his grandma died because there wasn't anyone to talk to. She was the only good person. Oh, so you don't have anyone to spend Christmas with? Avil K, that sucks. Nobody? Yeah, see, I have people that are alive, but I don't want to spend any time with them because they don't want to spend any time with me. So I'm kind of returning the favor. They don't appreciate they don't appreciate me anyway. So I'm just gonna just keep myself to myself. And when someone doesn't appreciate you, it's not worth your time getting on your hands and knees and begging them to give a crap about you. You're just better off just being around people that actually care about you, even if it's just one person, because that one person can be everything to you compared to hundreds of people that don't give a shit about you. That's why I don't like Facebook. Facebook is a piece of crap. Because at first I used to think Facebook was important. That I have to get all these new people to be my friends so that they'll care about things that I post, like articles or whatever. And then I realized after a while I don't care anymore. That it doesn't even matter. That you know what, and then I just kind of used YouTube as an outlet, and I didn't care if anybody cared about what I did or said or cared about. I just watch other people's stuff. But then I started making videos, and it started out with that Oroville Dam. But before that, I used to make videos about other things before Oroville Dam, and nobody really watched. I mean, not really. And then I made the Oroville Dam videos, and then people started to comment on them and stuff, and I would go on Susan Walding's live stream of the dam, and then people would comment on it and talk about it, and then I started making videos about it because my dad used to be a state park worker at the Oroville Recreation Department. My dad used to work there, and yeah, so I have an invested interest. So that's why I like the area Oroville because you know, it's not realistic to want to move back there because I'm just gonna leave it as a memory and just walk away from it because it's economically depressed. No, you didn't miss much. I don't think. I'm just babbling. But I was talking about the indoor garden, about growing food inside, and it might help with depression and stuff. I think is being able to grow your own food and actually help increase your health and make you feel better and feel like you accomplished something instead of just going to the store and just buying a bunch of stuff that doesn't make you feel any better. It just makes you feel more lousy, more pushed down. I think you know what I did a video a while ago about people building log cabins and just homesteading and having your own wood stove and having chickens and cows and growing your own food and drying meat and stuff. Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah. Yeah, that's what my boyfriend said. He said, if we ever become screwed again where we don't have a place to live, like if I lost my income or whatever and we lost all the other stuff we have, that instead of just going, oh well, I guess I'm just gonna become a mindless homeless person and turn all road dirty and just start babbling. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna pick a place in the national forest and I'm gonna build a damn cabin and I'm gonna grow my own food and I'm gonna eat squirrels and stuff. And then I'm gonna come into town once in a while and get my fossil fuels that the Democrats don't want us to have, and I'm stick it in my car. And then I'm gonna go sneak back to my dirt road where my cabin is, and raise my son, and not maybe not even have him go to school, just have him homeschool in my little shack. Because it's really no different than where I live now. It's just I'm calling my own shots, and it could turn into a Clive and Bundy thing where the BLM or whatever tries to throw you off and say you can't live here. It's against ordinances. You can't live on national forest or whatever. It's like, what the hell are you? What are you, God or something? Telling me I can't live on the land? That's what the land was. That's what the land's for us to live on. Yeah, I would love to live off grid or off of everything because I've already learned to live in the woods. And we used to. I didn't do it because it's too freaking cold. But my boyfriend actually bathed in a damn river. So I don't know. That water was freezing. It was like melted snow, even though it was April and May, but it was still very cold. And the water was moving very fast, and the water was rising because the snow was melting more and more, and the water was moving faster. And you heard all those stories a while ago about people drowning in the creeks and stuff, and the rivers. People were swimming in them. So yeah, it would be a great idea, wouldn't it? Oh, and I do watch abandoned houses, and I look at that, and I look at all the homeless people, and you look at the banks, and they're so selfish. They'd rather watch the house rot on its foundation than actually make it affordable so people like us could buy it. And these are beautiful homes too, and they're just rotting, and the roofs are caving in and stuff because there hasn't been anyone in the house for 10 to 15 years. That's just so disgusting. And then you go and try to find a rental or even try to buy something, you can't because it's too expensive. It's just so selfish. And you know what? God said there's a special place in hell for people like that are selfish and don't try to help others and just let other people suffer while they live in riches and comfort. Yeah, and the Democrats are hypocrites. And I don't want to talk about Democrats because I know that's kind of getting off subject, talking about those insects. But I have to watch my typos. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about the D people because it's just going to open up a rabbit hole I don't want to go into because they're already censoring my views anyway. So what else are they going to do? Flick off the last 20 people that are watching and make it at zero and I'll go, oh no, I guess I suck. So whatever. I'm used to people kicking me in the teeth, so it's nothing new. So if they kick off a few people and unsubscribe people, it is what it is, right? But I'm sorry about people that have lost people recently. I mean, it really sucks, especially if you're really close to that person and maybe they were a big part of your life and now you feel a hole in your life. Yeah, I get it. I get it, and it makes you feel empty and sad. It's hard to move on without them. And you wonder if their soul's in heaven with God and they're not just their life wasn't just in vain, it wasn't just for nothing. It'd just be nice if God came down and just sent a sign that he's here and he cares. And the people that are faithful to him will actually be the one to see the sign, like a beaming light come down from God saying that I love you for following the commandments and being obedient to me and not being tempted by evil. But unfortunately, we're yet to see that because what's that? What's the name of that woman that it was a young girl? These three young girls that saw the Virgin Mary. You're not going to get a divine message like that unless you're chosen, I guess. But it'd be nice though to be chosen. I mean, the closest I've ever come to anything supernatural was these demons that my dad conjured up when I was a kid. That's about as close as I ever came to a divine intervention. You know what I mean? Or not a divine intervention, but some kind of weird intervention that's not divine. I should retract that. But do you ever have like has anyone ever had a dream about Jesus Christ? That's a pretty rare one, right? That's a pretty rare thing to happen. So probably most or all people here probably haven't. But I'm saying that because I did. You can pretty much figure that out. I had a dream about Jesus. He came and he walked up my stairs and the door was wide open for some reason and there was all this bright light and he came into the house and he said, "Don't get up. Don't worry. Don't worry." He's like, "I'm just here to observe you." And he just walked through my place, and then he went down the stairs because it was two floors, and he went down the stairs, and I didn't feel worried. I felt at ease. And it's like if only that was real. If Jesus just came to observe, it's fine because I don't mind him observing because I don't have nothing to hide. He's not going to find anything bad. I mean, like really bad. So, well, I hope that made it somebody feel better about what's going on. That was a timer for my food. I kept the timer nearby so I don't forget, so I don't end up burning my house down. Because last year was the 1 year anniversary of some kid lighting a match and trying to burn the damn place down. So I'm always very careful about stuff, making sure stuff's turned off. I have moments with Jesus that cannot be explained, and the feeling experience is too deep to relate. See, yeah, you talk about that. I hate to bring this up again, but my boyfriend did say he wishes that Jesus would speak to him like he's spoken to other people. Kind of like he did, kind of like what happened with Moses when he was chosen and he was told to lead the people out of Egypt and bring them to the Holy Land. He wants that kind of message, just like tell him why he's here. But it's not happened yet. And he's extremely depressed. I'm not putting him in the video because he doesn't feel comfortable, so I'm not going to make him do something he's not comfortable with. But he just came back from being up in the mountains right before the stupid snowstorm is supposed to come. It's supposed to mess up the roads. I just I hope that this storm has a purpose and it's not just to make things harder for us. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, we need the rain and all that, but I don't need ice. And you've seen, I'm sure people on this channel have seen videos of what snow and ice can do to the roads and what it can do to change your life for the worst. Freeze your pipes and then you don't have any water, that kind of thing. That's why I wanted to move down the hill away from the snow because I have arthritis and I don't like really cold air. Sucks. And I appreciate the people that watch my channel last night. It was like 4 hours long, and I can't believe I had that much to talk about. I mean, I have a Aunt Margie who's a freaking nutcase, and she talks more than I do. And I think I beat her record last night. That woman is a freaking blah 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 box. She's probably gonna die like that with her mouth running. I'll probably have to clamp her mouth shut after she's dead because she won't stop talking. She's a very strange person. Once I was so down about something, I got into bed upset. Suddenly, it felt like heaven opened above me, and I was surrounded by so much love and light. It felt like God smiled on me. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I'm sure there's some people in this world that would like to. They feel like God was in the room with them, but that would probably be an episode of Highway to Heaven. And I watch Highway to Heaven sometimes to help me feel better because it just seems like the world is very superficial and crappy, and a lot of people feel like they're entitled to stuff. Yeah, you heard Barb Arnetta again. She's taking a nap right now. She recorded a pretty long video. Hers was, I think it was almost 3 hours long, almost as long as mine was last night. And I was tired after I filmed that thing, but I actually felt like I got something accomplished. But who knows? I mean, when we go to heaven, it's going to be instantaneous. Like everything will like die, and then we'll be sleeping, and then it'll be like you just died. It won't feel like it's been 100 years or whatever. When Jesus returns, it'll feel instantaneous. Okay, now I can turn the camera because um my boyfriend left the room. He doesn't like to he did that one live stream with me, but after that, I just didn't really want to do anymore. I guess he's just not been feeling too good. He's been real tired lately. He's run down and stuff. His health isn't very good. Yeah, that's the only thing that keeps you hanging on, right? Is you think you got an angel assigned to you, that everybody has a guardian angel. You remember that Sylvia Brown, and she'd say that everybody has guardian angel and all that, and she was like saying that her guardian angel was telling her psychic things and she'd predict stuff, and it turned out that she was a fraud and all that, and just didn't work out. That's too bad because she influenced a lot of people to believe that there was angels of light following her, and she used it to her advantage to trick people. And that Montel Williams promoted her, and I'm surprised they even allowed angel talk on mainstream media channels back then. Even then, it was not really popular, or it's just considered with. There's people that just hate God. They hate anything that's related to God. Mm. Yeah, you know what you do is um if you feel evil around you, you just rebuke it in the name of Jesus. I wish my dad would have told me that back then. When you feel evil around you, sense evil, you just rebuke it in the name of Jesus, and that evil spirit should leave. But my dad never told me that stuff when I was a kid, so those things always stayed around me all the time. And I think my mom has got evil spirits around her because she lives in a world of denial about her own things that she did when I was a kid. She just doesn't want to accept it, and it's I think it's what attracted a lot of the spirits inside their house that they have now. And if I was her, I'd try to get right with God and um, confess to the things that she's done, get it off her chest, because she's only got maybe 20, 30 years of her life, if that. And she doesn't want to die knowing that she's never confessed to the things that she's done that were wrong. That's just not right to me. I mean, I would, and she's got nothing to lose by confessing to the things she did. It's not like I'm never gonna talk to her again if she does. She just has to own up to it. And maybe and her husband's not gonna leave her. He doesn't care if she confesses or not. He's not going anywhere. I can see that. My dad's too old. He doesn't want to have to start his life over again. And I guess I don't blame him because he doesn't want to be alone and he doesn't want to spend the last 10, 12 years of his life alone, living in a little apartment without his wife that he obviously cares about a lot. So, yeah, and I know I don't care if my parents watch this because they don't care about me anyway. They don't call or do anything or come down. And they only live about an hour away from where I live. And anytime that I ever want to see them, I'm the one who has to drive up there to their house and go see them. And they just don't seem very excited to see me. So it's just not what they want. And I just don't have money. They want me to be rich and it's not going to happen. And we live in a society where people like me are being pushed out of having a home and all that. So, yeah. Does anyone have any ideas where there's to move where there's more money? No, probably not. Because in after 2024, when Trump's out of office, we'll have a Democrat, and then they're probably going to get rid of all the new jobs that Trump just created, and then people will be pushed out of their jobs. Everyone's being replaced by foreign labor anyway. They're bringing all these people from India and stuff in here and pushing people out of their tech jobs, um, and then all that cheap. Um, they're gonna do everything automated, right? Everything's gonna turn automated, and then they won't need laborers anymore, which screws up the next generation of kids. They're not gonna have any labor jobs. Then what? What do they do? It's gonna be like the movie WALL-E. Has anyone ever watched the movie WALL-E? Um, Everybody got fat. They stared at screens all the time. Um, the robots did everything for them. Um, they had no purpose. They're just drones. Oh, so you lived in two haunted houses as a child. One had basement where someone had his wife on a chain in the basement. She was horribly abused and finally died. Ooh, there's no words for that. He tied his wife up in the basement. I knew a lady. Oh, I knew a lady that her boyfriend locked her in a closet and he threw gasoline on her and tried to burn her up. And she got partially burned, and then she was able to escape, and she ended up in the women's shelter. So that's how I met her, was through this women's shelter I was in. And like that woman was actually abused, and that was justified. But a lot of these women just make up stories and lie because they don't want to be homeless. So they make up a story about being beaten by somebody, and a lot of times it turns out it's not true. They just want to get the free benefits because they know they're going to get it. They know they're going to get tons of stuff because it's supported by a lot of the Democrat policies is to break up the family and all that. So they're very supportive of that. Yeah, a lot of people believe some people believe some people believe the where if you are faithful to the Lord, that the Lord, when He returns, that you'll go up to heaven, and the ones who aren't faithful to the Lord will stay on earth and just die, eventually die and be nothing, which the left people want to do anyway. They just want to die and be nothing. And you know what? I did a video a while ago, um, where I was depressed, and I made the video public and all that, and I got quite a few commenters that are atheists that say that we're nothing, that there's nothing out there. And actually, my video kind of comforted them to think that way. So I guess in a way I sinned on that video because I felt selfish because I was feeling really bad. We keep hearing a chain dragging noise all night. Then someone told us what happened. He was horrid and was an Asian war bride woman. Oh, she was an Asian war bride woman. Oh, wow. So you hear a dragging noise at night, huh? Like a, are you sure it's the spirit of the woman that died? Did you check to make sure it's not mice or something like in the insulation? Because sometimes if you hear stuff like that, it's mice that'll make noises like that. It sounds like a ghost, but it's actually just mice, especially at night, because mice, I think, are most active at night because they know that humans are sleeping. But if you believe it's a chain and it's the ghost of the woman who died, but some people believe it's not a ghost, they believe it's a demon because demons can be deceptive and make you believe that it's a ghost of somebody. They've done so many shows about people that say, oh, it's a ghost. And I don't know. I can't say if ghosts exist or not, that God would allow someone to be a spirit and walk the earth. But there's been people that have had videos of spirits walking down the street. When people drove by, they saw a silhouette of a person or they see a spirit of somebody at a graveyard. Does anyone ever feel spirits when they go to the graveyard? Do they ever feel the spirits of the people there? I don't know. I mean, the theory is when you die, you sleep and you don't wake up until the second coming of Christ. Then your spirit awakes and you go up to heaven. Your spirit goes up, but until then, it was little. Yes, it was her. It was a chain. It started at one end of the basement and went to the other, and same pattern. They told us that that's what she did all night, day and night. Okay, good. Much love. Hmm. Oh, you were little. Yeah, we had a ghost in our house too. It was a ghost of a little girl. She used to slam the toilet lid down really hard. Like we'd all be in another room and all of a sudden the toilet lid would slam down real hard. And I used to call it Toilet Girl. Because sometimes I see glimpses of her out of the corner of my eye. I'd see her and then I'd go out of the room and we'd all be at another part of the house and I hear the toilet slam really loud. And I just call her a toilet girl. I think the scariest thing that ever happened to me, besides the thing that said Jesus Christ to me, like it held me down and said Jesus Christ, was being having all these hands touching me um, when I was laying down, and all these hands started touching me all at the same time, kind of like they're trying to pull me down into the dirt or something. And I was sleeping, or I was awake, but I felt all these hands touching me, and it scared the crap out of me. And I told my mom, or I screamed, and my parents came in the room, and I told them, said all these hands were touching me and trying to grab me and pull me down into the floor or something. And my parents didn't understand, but I didn't know at the time that my dad was playing with spell books when that happened. So, and that was the same year that my oldest brother drank a bunch of vodka and he rode his bike across the street where there was a big olive orchard, and he rode his bike and was going off ramps and stuff, and he ended up passing out in a tree. And my mom brought him back to the house and she hosed him off with a hose to sober him up. But the thing was, is my mom, she allowed my brother to drink the vodka that she had because she had tons of alcohol. She had alcohol stashed all over the house. And I think it conjured up a lot of the spirits that we had in our house. I mean, just my opinion, right? Just the evil of the alcohol and the anger and the abuse. I think it probably encouraged these demons to manifest themselves all the time, especially to me. I think they were more drawn to me than they were everybody else. But in the other house, a relative was pushed down the stairs but fell into what he thought was laundry. Sometimes you could see what looked like a suit hanging at the top, but no suit was there. Yeah, so you believe that the spirit of the people that lived there before still hang around the house. Turns out people who lived there had one mean man who and one kind one. The boy who was pushed always felt the kind one was broke his fall. Oh, it's buffering, huh? Oh, damn it. It sucks. At least this one won't be as long as last night. Last night was probably pretty long. I mean, it was so long that we were talking about Star Wars, and I'm at a loss for words when it comes to Star Wars. I don't know much about it. I mean, I know maybe the first two movies of it, and that's it. I don't know anything beyond it because I didn't care about it beyond the two movies. But I have nothing against it personally. It's just I don't know much about it. Oh, so it's buffering, huh? That's too bad. Yeah, it's too bad I can't put my cat in here. I'd have him do a dance or something to kind of make things a little funny. And he is the whistleblower, right? I mean, but I can't put him in there, so he's not going to be a star anymore. He's just going to be off to the side where no one can see him, and he'll just stuff himself until he has orange diarrhea out the side of his litter box, and then I have to clean it up. But it doesn't mean I don't care about the cat. He's just That's just the annoying part of animals, I guess, is they make a mess. Oh, the one thing I do like when it's if I did grow, well, actually you can't grow that. It's too freaking big. But I do like cucumbers. I do like um cucumbers and kiwis and stuff like that. I just don't eat enough of them. And oranges and stuff like that usually don't get eaten around here because you don't appreciate it because you have so much of it. It's so abundant. I'd switch to opera. Ah, Miss Whistleblower. That sound like the kibble with orange dyed pieces. Yeah, I bought another brand. I bought Nine Lives cat food. But by any stretch of the means, I'm not a cat lady, so I never will be. Have you seen those videos of people that allow their cats? They collect cats, and the whole place is full of cats, and there's like cats jumping out of drawers and stuff, and there's like hair and crap everywhere. It's insane. You know what I should do? Because my mom has a Facebook. If I shared this video on Facebook and she happened to click on it because she saw it's my video, she'd probably she'd probably strangle me. Not literally, but she'd just be really pissed off. She'd be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you'd make up those terrible lies about me." It's like, well, what am I gonna do? Go to my grave supporting your lies and just pretend nothing ever happened to me and just pretend everything was fine and that your poor mother died and that everybody around you should suffer because of it? Yeah, she died, and that's terrible, but you can't punish your kids because your mother died. This is not fair. Yeah, and it's sad because I did see her grave, and it's a very lonely place, and you can't see her. She's just in the ground, and grandparent I'll never meet. But maybe I'll meet her on the other side, and maybe she was a good person. I don't know that. But being punished because of her doesn't make me appreciate her who she was. I would appreciate her more if you didn't punish me because she died. Yeah, so yeah, it's terrible. But I do appreciate everybody watching. And I'm still trying to figure out how all this YouTube stuff works. There's like, you're the only one left, huh? That's watching. Everybody else kind of dropped out. Yeah, they kind of probably got bored. I don't blame them. I mean, it's not as exciting as some videos. Some videos are extremely exciting, and they have like graphics and stuff, and they have guests that come on and they chat stuff. I mean, who am I gonna invite? Potato Lady to come chat with me and sit in my other chair and the break the chair up? I don't think so. It has to be something deeper where they're turning away. Time zones could be busy. Hmm. Yeah, ABOK. I'm really glad that you're here. And you know what? You don't have to have a ton of people like to be your friend to know whether or not they're a good friend. Because if you have like hundreds of friends, you're not going to know who your real friends are. And you're not going to appreciate them either because you have too many of them. Kind of like what my little sister did. She had tons and tons of friends and tons of boys that liked her. And she's constantly being paid attention to all the time by all these people. And she didn't appreciate them, especially the boy that shot himself in the head that was someone that really liked her a lot. And I was like, wow, I couldn't imagine having all these people liking me and then all these different boys really appreciating me and all that. And she didn't care. She didn't care about any of that. And then she married some guy that's, I don't even want to talk about him. Let's just say he doesn't like me because I'm poor. You know what I mean? Yeah, and you can't connect with hundreds of people. I mean, look at Mark Dice. Can he actually say that he knows any of his followers or watchers, subscribers? Probably not. There's too many of them. And then there's this guy called Tim Cast, and he likes to play both sides of the field on the Democrat Republican. And he talks about how Democrats are crazy and stuff or whatever, and he likes some of the Democrat talking points. And then he says, oh, he always votes for a Democrat, but yet he talks against them in his video. And I think he does that as clickbait because he gets conservatives to click on his channel and watch his channel all the way through. But then you can still sense that he's going to vote for Democrat anyway in 2020, and he supports Tulsi Gabbard. And it's like she doesn't stand for anything. You know what I mean? The only thing that's decent about her is that she doesn't believe in the wars, that it's that we shouldn't be spending taxpayer money um, on wars. That's the only good thing about her. Other than that, she's basically Bernie Sanders in a skirt. It doesn't matter. I don't know why he trusts those people when he does videos about all the terrible things that they've done, and they support late term abortion and all that. I don't support any of that, and I don't agree with anything they say. And they're not for the working people. They're going to take the working people and put them out of work. And I don't support Democrats. At least Republicans support capitalism and they want to bring jobs. The only thing that they're doing wrong is that they want the cheap labor, but they will bring the industry here, but they want cheap labor. That's the only thing different. And they took their businesses out of here because they raised the corporate taxes and they went overseas. And now that Trump is lowering the corporate taxes, the Democrats are giving him crap for it. And these corporations still want the cheap labor. They're still bringing in the cheap labor. So it's really, we can't win either way. We're just not going to win. We just need to go back to living in log cabins and trading goods like they did on Little House on the Prairie. Like Miss Ingalls would bring in the eggs and she'd get a store credit and she could get, a little bag of flour and sugar and whatever she needed to take care of her family. Other than that, they had milk and they had eggs and they had firewood. Her husband could build things. He was looked like he was a blacksmith in town, and he always liked to help everybody out. So, isn't that nice? That's why I admired that show. I admired Little House on the Prairie, and I admired Highway to Heaven because some of the messages were very um, old school that need to still be followed today, but they're not. Everybody's strayed away from it. And I think that Michael Landon's grave should almost be like a monument because he actually promoted people being moral and doing the right thing. But people don't appreciate his work anyway. So, and his own family said he was a devout Christian. So, be right back. Need to check stove. Oh, you're cooking something, huh? Yeah, I'm cooking something too, and it's good stuff. It's gonna be hearty and nice, and it's like gonna give me a whole 5 minutes of happiness, and then we're gonna go back to feeling like horrible crud again, right? You just gotta keep seeking out things that make us feel better. Either that, or you just watch a cooking video or something and think about making something, or but it sucks when you don't have a yard because you can't go out and rake your leaves or cut back your rose bushes or any of that. You can't do that. You can't do it. Oh, you're still listening. You're just being quiet, huh, Deborah? I like that name, Deborah. Reminds me of Deborah from Everybody Loves Raymond. Remember that show? Yeah, I really like that show. It's just the stupid little stuff that makes us happy. Yeah, yeah. We need to return to a slower life because it's all money based. Is how we live. It's all money based, and then we feel pressure and it breaks up actually marriages because people fight about money a lot of times, and then people feel like they need to have materialistic things to be happy. And I noticed that with my sister. She used to have she used to have my brother and my sister living with her, and she used to collect their Social Security. And her and her husband bought this really nice house and very expensive house because she depended on my brother and sister's income to be able to afford these really nice things. And it was a beautiful house, and the only thing wrong with it is it needed some new carpet because the carpet that was in it was ruined or garbage. So she bought a new carpet and she painted the walls and stuff, and it was great. The house was great, perfect. It had a nice kitchen and stuff. It had a swimming pool in the backyard. And a few years later, after she bought the house, um, she took I guess she said she refinanced the house so she could borrow against it, and she put hardwood floors in. She tore all the new carpet out and put hardwood floors in all throughout the house. And I thought, that's crazy. I was like, what was wrong with the carpet? Why did you tear it all? Why are you borrowing against your house? And then she was buying all this. She bought a bass boat, and then she bought this pontoon boat, and she bought another brand new car, and they already had a brand new car in the driveway because she depended on my brother and sister's Social Security to pay for all the bills. And it didn't last because my two siblings are crazy. They're completely there's a reason why they're in a board and care home because they're hard to deal with. I mean, I used to have my sister who's crazy. She used to come to my house and visit sometimes, stay overnight, and she would literally pee all over everything. She'd piss all over the blanket and everything. And she would have to wear like this big urine pad in her clothes because she would pee even during the day. And it was gross. And she was mouthy and all that. And she hung around guys that were just bad news, and they were using her for a little bit of money she had. Like she had some spending money, and she'd go out with them and she'd buy them lunch, and they were just using her. She just My sister couldn't handle it after a while, and my she had my brother who's retarded, and she had my schizophrenic sister living with her, and they had this really nice house, and her husband couldn't stand having my siblings living there because they're annoying, and I understand that. But he was enjoying the fruits of their money coming into their house. And just recently he said he would like to have my brother come back to live with them because they need more money. And I thought, that's not a reason to take him back in because you guys don't get along. My brother and him almost basically went to blows, like fist fight, because he was making my brother pick up dog poop off the ground because he didn't want to clean it up, and it wasn't even my brother's dog, it was his dog. Just, it's they don't the two of them don't mix, and I don't think it's going to get any better. And my sister, she had to, you know, my two siblings had to move out because it wasn't working, and there was too much fighting and stuff, and they lost everything because they lost the income of my two siblings, and they ended up having to downgrade and go back to renting a house, and she had to bankrupt all of that debt, all of it, and they lost their pontoon boat. Um, they lost so many things, and she was so depressed and scared to ever buy anything again or finance anything ever again because she lost every. And I tried to warn her. I'm like, you can need to. I don't know why you guys depend on their income. What if you lost that income? What if they had to leave or something and it didn't work out? What are you gonna do? How are you gonna pay for all this stuff? She just never cared about what I said. I just told her, I said, that's too much uh, pressure, financial pressure. Their bills were real high, and she was always complaining about the water bill from the swimming pool. It was really expensive to keep the filter running and all that and keep water in the pool. And she's like, I constantly have to keep water in the pool because it'll ruin the pool if you don't keep water in it all the time. And she had to keep chlorinating it. And she had a nice hot tub too. It had a nice hot tub. It was nice visiting there, and and she wanted me to use their pool and the hot tub. And I was like, it's okay. I don't have to come down all the time to use your stuff. Plus, her husband didn't like me being there. He was annoyed by me because he probably considered me to be like my two siblings that are retarded. Plus, I had an old car. So, yeah, I never liked him, and he never liked me. And it's very fake. And that's what I said. I don't like fake people. Do you want your name? That's funny. Yeah, my sister's husband is very unhappy, and he sits there and plays Call of Duty all the time on the computer, and he's been doing that since I've known him, since she's been with him, since he's had a computer in their house. He just puts his earphones on and plays Call of Duty, and he turns his back on everybody. And my sister gets stuck doing all the taking care of the kids in the house and stuff. I mean, he works, of course, but he's always plugged in the Call of Duty whenever he gets a chance. That's what I've always noticed about him, is he doesn't participate. And the only time he ever leaves the computer is to go to work, or if they need to go get buy something, or if they want to go out of town. Other than that, he just does that. And sorry, do you want us to use your name? Oh, name is kind of unimportant. I kind of like Red Dawn. It's like kind of a better name because I don't really like the name I have because it's not the name I wanted. But my mom gave it to me because she wanted all of her kids all have the name start with the same letter. I mean, she went to all that trouble to do that, and then she treated us like dirt. So it's weird. So weird. Yeah. So I don't have much of a relationship with any of my family. It's not genuine. And my sister's only been connecting with me recently because her daughter that's autistic has been bothering her a lot about wanting to visit her cousin. And that's it. It's not because she really wants to be around me because there's really not much to talk about because her husband doesn't like me and we're poor and stuff. And you know, she she never let her kids ride my car with me anywhere because she said my car doesn't have any airbags and doesn't have side impact bags, and she thought it was unsafe. So she never let her kids ride my car. They've never spent the night in my house. So that's kind of whatever, right? But I just always felt like it was not good enough for her and her husband and her kids. And it's fine because that's why I don't talk to her unless she calls me and says, "Oh, my daughter wants to visit her cousin." And it's like, well, that's fine because um, I don't care. If they want to visit, they can visit. But when it comes to me and you, there's probably not much to talk about. Yeah. Speaking of fake, that's just the beginning with my so-called relatives. Yeah, I don't like fake people, like where they're just annoyed by you and they can't wait till you leave. It's like, yeah, you think I'm not annoyed? Because I can tell that you're not enjoying my company and that you're not enjoying my Mickey and my Mickey Mouse cartoons or whatever. You don't like watching my stuff. You don't care about Mickey Christmas Carol and that kind of thing. You just rather watch some movie with people that are half naked. That's what you'd rather watch, right? People smoking weed and all this other stuff and doing things that they shouldn't be doing. But that's why I don't relate to my sister and stuff because they like all this modern tech art stuff and I don't. I like the old school stuff. I like the old ways before everything changed, before everybody made movies, so everybody's all naked and stuff, and people doing drugs and all that. I don't like any of that stuff. You know what I mean? Or just people transgendering or just making you feel kind of awkward. Just I don't like those kind of movies. Or there's a lot of propaganda in them. You know, it makes you feel like you're being surrounded by crazy people. And plus, you know what? They say you shouldn't support Hollywood anyway. It's full of immoral people. But that's the way it is, right? There's my timer again. So you want us to use your name? Yeah, I already read that comment. I read it twice. Sorry. Yeah. I always wanted to be called Heather, and it's weird because in high school, some people thought my name was Heather, or they thought I looked like a Heather, but unfortunately, it wasn't true. So, like my mom, she gave me a really bland name, and it kind of speaks volumes. That it's just a stupid name anyway. It doesn't matter. It doesn't define you. It's just a name. And my mom, she creeped me out. She's like, I was trying to figure out a way so I could change your name to my name. Um, I was like, what? Okay, not only did you treat me like crap as a kid, now you want to change your name to my name. Now I'm super creeped out. It's weird. It's like Silence of the Lambs weird. Speaking of fake, that's just the beginning with my so-called relatives. One imitates everything I do or buy and tries to get an expensive version. Movies are filled with propaganda. That's funny you say imitate. You have a relative that imitates you and buys the same things you buy, but like a better, more better version. Yeah, exactly. That's it. That's what my sister does. Like she'll try to copy some of the stuff I do, but she'll buy like the better version of it. Like I bought a car seat for my son, and it was kind of expensive car seat. It was like $150 car seat, and it's a boy's car seat, and she's got two girls. And she deliberately went out and bought the same exact seat that's a boy's car seat, and it was light gray and red color, so it was kind of a boyish color, very drab. And she went out and bought her daughter the same car seat when each of her daughters already had two car seats, and they were both pink. So it kind of weirded me out. Like she was like trying to copy me or something. And it's like, why did you buy that? You have two daughters. You don't need a brownish red car seat that looks like a boy. You know what I mean? It's borderline creepy. It's kind of like when my mom said she wanted to change her name to my name. I was like, if you do that, I don't know what to tell you. I'm gonna have to put a paper bag on my head or something. Then if get an account on another platform, put Heather in. Oh, it's sick. Put Heather in it. So funny. Yeah, my boyfriend, he doesn't like that name Heather because he said all the women named Heather he's ever known have been overweight. Um, I don't know. I just always liked that name, but and I've always liked the name Guinevere. I've always liked that name. Like if I ever had a kid someday, but that's not gonna happen because I'm too old. But if I ever had another kid, I'd name the little girl Guinevere because I love that name. It reminds me of King Arthur because I think in the story King Arthur married a woman named Guinevere, but I'm not entirely sure. I read it a long time ago in a book. It was a fictional book, but it was a very nice name. I really liked it. And King Arthur was a very brave person. He had to pull the sword from the stone and all that. I just like this. I like the story. Okay, I like the story. I kind of like it. Even my favorite colors. Yeah, my favorite color is green. If anyone cares, I like the color green, and I used to collect pollywogs out of the pollywog pond that we used to have in my backyard, and I'd keep frogs in my pocket, and I'd uh, put them in cups, put the pollywogs in a cup, and hide them. And my mom found out, and she got really mad. Oh, you have to go? Well, see you later, Deborah. I hope you enjoyed this this stream. I hope you enjoyed it as kind of weird as it was, but maybe you got a little piece of happiness from it, and maybe you'll make a stream too, huh? Talk about some things. Maybe make some new friends. You don't have to be talented to make a stream, right? You can just be honest. Oh, well, congratulations. Hope you enjoy your dinner, and hopefully you have a good night and don't drink too much, right? Because you don't want to get a DUI or something. It's not good. Or just call a cab or something to drive you home. Oh, you like black and those are nice colors. Black and purple, that's nice. Especially on shoes. I actually have a pair of shoes on that are black and purple, and I deliberately picked them because of that color. I don't really like white tennis shoes that much because they pick up a lot of dirt and they look dirty after a while. You know that look? I don't like white tennis shoes too much because you have to try to clean them. I'm gonna go get my food out of the oven. Yeah, so it's a nice, beautiful turkey that I cooked, and it reminds me of Mickey's Christmas Carol when the family had to divide the little bit of meat they had. And I love even though Scrooge McDuck is kind of a jerk, but I really love Scrooge McDuck. Scrooge McDuck's cool. I really like him a lot. He's one of my favorite Disney characters, even though you shouldn't promote selfishness, but I'm not promoting selfishness. I just like him. I used to love DuckTales with Scrooge McDuck, and he would swim around his money and all that. But all overall, he was a good guy. Even though he had a lot of money, he was just trying to protect what he invested in, and he didn't want the what were they called, the Beasley Boys or something, to steal from him. Oh, great combination. Hate that dingy shoe look. Oh, you mean the white shoes? I just to me, it's hard to keep white shoes clean because you get dirt on them. You have to keep wiping them off. You keep cleaning them. And with the job I do, I don't like to wear white tennis shoes because they get really dirty really fast. So if I ever buy shoes, I always make sure they're dark colors so they don't show dirt. Because if I'm working all the time, yeah, I used to do some pretty dirty jobs. Yeah, so yeah, that's one of my favorite movies is Mickey's Christmas Carol. I just love it, even though it's only like 25 minutes long. And Scrooge had to change his ways. You know what I mean? He had to change his ways and have the Christmas spirit because he didn't have it, and he was selfish and all that. And after that, he saw where his future was going to bring him, and he decided to help people instead of being selfish. Isn't that nice? I wish other people could have three ghosts visit them and make them change their ways. And you know what? Now that I'm talking about Mickey Christmas Carol, now I'm going to put the damn movie in and watch it. But I can't post it on here because it's copyright infringement. But everybody pretty much probably knows what that movie is. And Scrooge McDuck is one of my favorite characters, even though Disney's kind of bad, but I really like Scrooge McDuck. He's one of my favorite. I used to love watching DuckTales. Oh, Susan Walding. You're talking about Susan Walding, huh? Yeah, I don't know what she does now. She's like doing something else now. I guess she's not covering the dam anymore. She's doing something else. But she was real nice, and she did get angry sometimes, and she would delete some people's comments because she didn't like some of the stuff they were typing in. And some of it wasn't bad stuff. It was just, I don't know. She just delete stuff. Yeah, it's nice to watch some Disney videos. I have mine on DVD because I don't go like on YouTube. It'll say, "Oh, 2.99 to watch it. If you want to watch a movie." It's like I'm not paying 2.99. I can just dust off my VHS tape and put it in my VCR. Because yeah, or if my VCR breaks, I just go to the secondhand store and I buy another one. I buy another VCR. I should buy like 100 of them. Just every time I see one, I'll buy another one and stack them up in my closet. So when one breaks, I'll just pop in another uh, tape player and play another tape. Yeah, I like the old ways better. It's like I don't want to convert over the new stuff. So new stuff is kind of shitty. So what's your favorite Christmas movie? Yeah, they did. Obviously, yeah. They knew a lot of information on the dam. They were able to actually I think her name was Millie Kay. She was actually able to drive over there and look at the work over there. And when she came over there, they had all the fencing up and everything, so you couldn't really access things. But she still did the video, which was nice that she went out there and she videotaped it. So it's cool. Yeah, I would love to see the dam. I wasn't able to see it because they had it all blocked off. They wouldn't let anybody over there. Back when I went over there a few years ago, they wouldn't let anybody over there because that the spillway gave way back then, and they were repairing it. And everybody thought once the water spilled over the emergency spillway that it was going to flood the Central Valley, and they had to evacuate all those people. I hope that doesn't happen again because it's going to take out our crops, and a lot of the entire state depends on the nuts and fruits of this state. And if those crops are taken out, washed away, that's the end of the fruits and nuts. And it takes years and years to mature those trees in order to get the nuts off of them. So I just know that I live near the Central Valley and I drive through it sometimes when we go down to the valley to go do stuff and we see the walnut trees and stuff. They take a long time to mature. And then once the tree is, about 10, 15 years old, I think they cut the tree down and then people buy the walnut knolls. I guess they call them knolls that where the roots parts are. The roots are, I guess, really valuable because they make furniture out of it because it's really it's a hardy wood. It's a hardwood. Yeah. So walnut is really good. It's like almost as nice as oak, and oak trees are pretty valuable too. Yeah, it is. It's being destroyed piece by piece, and it's just turning into a big homeless camp. I mean, we have quite a few homeless here. That's like less than a mile from my house. They call it Camp Hope. I mean, it's actually becoming like a famous hashtag now to be homeless. I just hope that Susan Walding reopens the chat, even without the live feed of the dam. We can still talk about stuff even without the live feed because it'll draw attention to it and it'll be less likely to have bad things happen if they know people are watching and paying attention. Oh, you like ballet? Yeah, I don't know how they stand on their tippy toes like that. I don't know how they do that without breaking their foot off. Oh, so you like the Nutcracker? You like the old school stuff, the original stuff. Oh, my boyfriend's mom, she's a theatrical actress. She likes to do theater. She likes to go to theater play. She likes to go to Broadway plays. She knows a lot of actors that do Broadway, so kind of interesting. So she knows how to sing and perform and act and all that. It's low time. It's not like big time. It's just theater stuff, small theaters. Yeah, we already know who's going to buy up all the land. They said China is buying it all up because the Democrats have mortgaged off all of our land and given it to China. And eventually they're going to own everything and they're probably going to own our crops and everything. And they're going to decide what the prices are for everything and the price of land too. Yeah, they said all the houses and stuff that people can't afford here and the people that are selling their houses, they said that China, all these other countries are buying up these houses and then they're going to decide the prices. That's sick. The rest of the country is going to eventually get infected by this, kind of like Ebola, right? I mean, that was sick. Remember when we had Ebola here? It was like some kind of joke. I mean, the lady that was a humanitarian that volunteered her time down in where was it? Was it Africa or something? Wherever the Ebola outbreak was, and they had to quarantine people. And the doctor that worked on those people flew back, and she was sick, and all they did was put her in the undercarriage of the airplane, and I think she landed in New York. And then there was this guy that they let before her, she came back. There was this other guy that flew back and he was having all this bloody diarrhea and all that. And I think he was in New York. And they had to have a biohazard team come in and clean the apartment out and throw everything out. And he exposed so many people to Ebola. You remember that? That was during Obama's reign. And the president didn't have the Board of Health or anything put a stop to it. It's just sick. I mean, how many people could they have possibly exposed? And then they found out later um, that it was this tobacco plant was the cure for Ebola, but yet they let all those people die over in Africa or wherever it was that originated, and they all suffered and died. And they finally found the cure for it, and they probably knew what the cure was to begin with. They just wanted to make people suffer. But that was sick. I'm like, dude, you can't bring people with Ebola over in this country and expect it not to spread like wildfire. And it's like this explosive diarrhea that's got blood in it. I mean, that's not good. That's like death. And they had that dude and then that doctor come over here and expose a bunch of people. It's like that movie Outbreak with the monkey that was sick and it got into a crate or something and it ended up getting flown overseas to our country and they had to quarantine the area and capture the monkey and kill the monkey and take the brain out and try to figure out what the cure was, find out what the virus is so they could kill it. And I think that was a movie with Dustin Hoffman. I mean, it's so possible that they could bring disgusting diseases here and infect all of us. Isn't it? It's sick. And it could happen easily, even under Trump's reign, because he's not closing the border. And if he closed all the damn borders off and said no more immigration, no more people coming over, because we got too many problems already, and uh, we have all these homeless, that would help nip a lot of this crap in the bud. Plus, he's not. The people are saying, or that Barbara Arnett said that he's not even building a damn wall. It's just he's just saying he is, and people that live in the border communities are saying they don't see a wall being put up. All they see is more people sneaking over the border, and more. They said they've seen prayer rugs in Texas, on the border of Texas. They've seen abandoned prayer rugs. So it's not just people from Guatemala coming over here. There's people from the Middle East coming over here because this is an easy entrance from the southern border than it is coming through Ellis Island. Ellis Island, it's harder. So they're coming another way from boats or whatever. They're coming a different way. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, you're right. They probably do have Ebola in labs and they can probably infect people anytime they want. They could probably spray it in the damn chemtrails that they're spraying above our heads. Spray Ebola, the Ebola virus, and have it land on people as they're walking around outside, or it's on surfaces, or and then get a bunch of people sick, and they'll end up putting people in these sick camps. And oh God, it's you ever see that movie The Stand? It's kind of the same thing with that super. They called it the super flu or something, and all those people were dying, choking to death on phlegm. Disgusting. But these people that are doing these things, they're gonna have to face Judgment Day for the things they've done, for making people die. All these people that are spreading these cancer viruses and making people get tumors growing in their body. Uh, that Roundup company that's giving people that gave people cancer. Um, all this stuff, just and all these medications they keep pushing on everybody, making everybody sick, get everybody cancer. I say the people that have already crossed over to God, I'd say they're pretty lucky because at least they're with God and they don't have to put up with this being on earth and having to put up with this crap, being made to be sick. Like the quality years of your life spent being sick and coughing and being tired and run down and depressed. That's not a life. And then having people that hate us coming into our country illegally and murdering our people and nothing's being done about it. Nothing. I mean, you heard about that girl over in New York that was stabbed to death in a park by these young boys. And obviously they did it out of hate and nothing's going to be done about it. And you hear about these black nationalists that are their latest thing is stabbing people with knives. Instead of guns, they're stabbing people with knives. And these terrorist groups are growing because these black people are becoming more angry and angry every day. That's why I don't let my son walk to the bus stop by himself. I have to escort him every day to the bus and pick him up every day because I don't want anything to happen to him. Because if anything happened to him, it'd kill me. It would kill me if something happened to him. I couldn't forgive myself if I just let the rope out and let him go by himself and something happened to him. The object is to bring us down, but God has the final word. They may fall in the hole they're digging for others. Life is short. Eternity is forever. It's not worth a few moments now. Yet, yes, the medication is harming when they're natural ways. Yeah, there are. And I have rheumatoid arthritis, and I don't take the medication for it, and I don't care to. And my sister's like telling me it was about a month ago. She's like, you need to take the medication because you're going to end up completely disabled and you're not going to be able to walk or move or do anything. This one guy almost died because he was taking medication. And I don't want to take the medication because it was making me throw up because it's cancer medicine. It's part of the medicine they give people who have cancer. And I don't want to take a bunch of medication. And you know what? For the most part, I feel relatively okay. Because when I was taking the medication, which I was for a year, I was taking it. Um, I was still having pain and stuff. It broke through the medication, and it was almost like I wasn't taking anything. And I've had tons of X-rays done, and they've seen the damage, and it is what it is. And there's people that have been taking the medicine faithfully for 20 plus years, and they still have damage. They're still having damage to their joints. It's because it doesn't do anything to shut off the receptors that are the autoimmune where your body attacks itself. It doesn't actually shut it off. All it does is just put poison in your body and makes you believe it's shut off, but it's not. That's why it stops working because your brain realizes it's not shutting it off. Yeah, it's becoming more common, obviously, these autoimmune disorders. Yeah, stabbing, yeah, it's becoming more common. And in France and stuff, because they're letting the Middle East in there and they're stabbing people. They're because these people are unarmed because they live in gun-free zones, and these terrorists know that, and they end up killing people because they know they can't fight back because they don't have any way to fight back. What are you gonna do? Go like this, put your hands up and try to push it back? They're just gonna kill you. But if they know that they live in a country where people can bear arms, these terrorist people are less likely to attack people. Because if someone tries to stick me, I'd shoot them. No. Because if I lived in a community where I was the minority, you damn well sure I'd buy a gun and I'd keep it on me and I have an open carry permit and I would carry it on me. And if anyone wanted to get funky with me, you believe me, I'd show them my gun and I wouldn't brandish it. I just let them see my sidearm. I'd say, "You wanna try it? Because if you do, I know how to use this." You know, I'm not gonna let somebody take me out or my kid out. But since I don't live in a area like that, I don't have any weapons like it is unstable. Well, isn't that nice? Well, I gotta pay my bill too. My bill's only half over my bill's only less than $50 a month, and I'm happy about that. Yeah. It also suppresses your natural yeah, they told me, they're like, "Well, you're taking this medicine, you need to have a flu shot because your immune system's gonna be down, and if you get the flu, you could die because your immune system's totally down because of taking medication." And I didn't get the flu shot, and shortly after that, I stopped taking the medicine because I noticed it was ripping a hole in my stomach, and I was constantly throwing up all the time, and I knew that wasn't natural, that's, like, not normal. Oh, yeah, there's people getting sick of it, and the more they talk about Donald Trump, the more people are gonna vote for Donald Trump, the more they're gonna be interested in the Republican Party, people are gonna express interest in the Republican Party. You know what I mean? I turned the camera, but I don't want you to see the cat, 'cause the cat can't be in the video. You can't allow cats in the video or animals, kids, or you know what I mean? You can't allow them in. And I don't wanna get in trouble for having a stinking cat in there, even though it's pretty much harmless having a cat in the video, but apparently they've I saw that YouTube put a video up about the COPPA rules and how important it is that we follow the COPPA rules. Oh, that's so crazy. It's like, why all of a sudden does YouTube care about kids and, being exploited or whatever? And yet we have Democrats that are being promoted that are totally exploiting children and getting away with it. You know what I mean? Jeffrey Epstein, all that, and nobody seems to give two flying craps about it. You know what I mean? And when you think about this stuff, it makes you wanna watch, um, a Christmas movie, like It's a Wonderful Life or something, and try to forget about the way things are. You know what I mean? 'Cause it those movies back then from the '50s and stuff had a moral message and people were family oriented, even if it was just a movie, but it still represented the way things were back then, but they're not anymore. People are breaking away from each other. People don't live near each other. They don't support each other. People are just in for themselves. Oh, you're buffering again? I have a lousy connection. When I modded for channels, we get hundreds of trolls and it was constant whack a troll, but this connection made it hard. Huh. Didn't they have to pay a fine for some problems with kid videos? I think they were saying people I know there's like a gray area with um gamers or whatever that have channels and it's considered games are like kid stuff. I don't know how how they deal with that. I don't know how that works. I'm just glad I don't have videos with about kids or whatever. Because then you couldn't talk about adult subjects because your initial platform is kids. You can't switch over. How come you're shaking your head? Oh, you didn't know what time it was? Yeah, so, yeah, I recorded this or started this stream earlier because last night it was kinda getting late when I finally shut it off, and I was pretty damn tired when I got done though. It's what's coming in January that could be the problem. Yeah, I was just thinking that because my videos aren't producing any revenue for YouTube because they're not very popular, that they're probably gonna end up I don't know what they're gonna do. They're gonna have to kill millions of channels, I guess, because I see there's a lot of channels that aren't active. I hope they don't kill mine off and, like, discard it like garbage, like an old potato peel or something and throw it in the trash. Oh, you're on the opposite coast? How's the weather over there? Is it okay? I know, it's pretty cold over there on the other side because it's the Atlantic. We have the nice, West Coast where it's, warm, pretty much warm. Oh, yeah, you guys don't swim in that ocean, it's too fricking cold, and you don't have a problem and you c one thing you guys have is you don't have to worry about great whites like we do. We have to worry about sharks and stingrays and stuff 'cause they live in the warm water. You guys don't have to worry about it too much. You have different types of fish. So, that's why I don't like to swim in the ocean 'cause I don't like sharks. I hate sharks. Oh, your Wi-Fi went down? How funny. Yeah, mine used to do that when I had, Comcast. It kept going down all the time, and half the time we didn't have a connection. And the representative, when I went to cut off the Comcast, I said, "I'm cutting off Comcast because you guys were charging me $164 a month, and I don't have internet half the time. Half the time it's cutting in and out, and ended up having to watch movies or whatever in the meantime, which wasn't the end of the world, but why am I paying $165 a month and I can't even access my internet?" Yeah, it's just silly. It's completely silly. And what else I think is unfair is that YouTube says, "Oh, you have to have 1,000 subscribers in order to use a mobile device to do a live stream." It's just stupid. It's like, well, it just makes it hard because then you have to use a laptop, and you would like to go do an outside video or something because it would probably make your videos more interesting, but eh, I don't know. It's just almost too hard to get 1,000 subscribers. And they probably start cutting off your subscribers once you get to 1,000. They'll go, "Yay, congratulations, you have 1,000 subscribers." And then all of a sudden people start getting unsubscribed and you go, "Well, what the hell? I just reached 1,000 subscribers and now I'm below 1,000. Now I'm getting dumped off." And they go, "Congratulations, now we're gonna drop off all your half your subscribers." Great. And then they go, "Oh, and you're not eligible for monetization. And you're not eligible for super chat." Well, great. I don't want the super chat anyway. I'm not gonna go beg people for money because I make my own money. You can buy subs. How funny. I'm not buying anybody. They wanna come in, they can come in, and I don't get anything and they don't get anything. It should be like a real friendship. It shouldn't be, "What can I do for you and what can you do for me?" It should be just because you like coming on the channel. It should be all this is. Yeah. I know people that don't do live streams, they kinda look at you like, "Why the hell are you doing this when you don't make any money? Why are you wasting your time?" Because I enjoy it, because real life, if I try to talk to my family, they don't care. They don't care about, what I say. They don't care about any of that. They only care about their materialistic lives, in which I can't relate to, and I don't wanna have to overly explain myself why I'm poor, but I make enough money with my crummy job where I can keep my Wi-Fi on, and I can have a Christmas tree and a couple of presents for my son under the tree because I still believe in God, and it is kind of a pagan holiday to have a tree, but it's for the kids, and you can't take away a piece of their happiness just because you don't wanna be inconvenienced and have to buy extra stuff. But my parents never understood that. They never understood, the importance of having Christmas when you have little kids. They just were too busy being wrapped up in their own selfish lives and worrying about my mom's mother being dead all the time. Making money has been the downfall of this place. It was fun. Now it's about money. Yeah, YouTube basically emphasized um, if you're not making money for us, then we're going to cut your channel off. And I know I'm not making any money for them. But I remember back in the day, about 6 to 7 years ago, when I had some videos, I did uh, add ads to the channel, and the ads did play when I was getting some views. And now they're telling me, oh, now you can't have ads on your channel because your channel doesn't qualify for ads and it doesn't qualify to be monetized. It doesn't qualify for super chat. But back then it did, apparently, but not anymore. And it's like, you know what? Maybe it's for the best that it doesn't. And if I went to work and talked to people about this channel, they probably wouldn't give two craps. And I wouldn't want to tell them because I talk about my job. And I'd hate to bring up things that happen at work because they'd probably be offended by it. They'd probably like, well, why are you talking about me and we're talking about what we do there? Yeah, they hate normal people. It doesn't make them any money. And you know what? I'm not here to make them money. I'm just here because I enjoy doing this. And I enjoyed doing it before too. And I'm the only one in my household that actually enjoys doing this. My boyfriend doesn't really enjoy making, he doesn't like making videos because he says he doesn't do monologue. I mean, he's okay with dialogue, but sometimes when he doesn't have anything to talk about, he doesn't talk about anything. He's a uh, very private person. He doesn't, he has a YouTube account, but he doesn't do anything with it except comment once in a while on somebody's channel. He watches, he likes to watch Owen Benjamin a lot. And Owen Benjamin's been kicked off of YouTube. And I guess Owen Benjamin went on D Live, is transferred all his videos on D Live, and he's got 32,000 subscribers so far, and he's only been on there for about a week, I guess. That's not bad, I guess. But otherwise, he wouldn't be able to put his videos up because YouTube keeps taking them down, and they took his whole channel down. So, how many of you guys do you got anyone here watch Alex Jones? I think you have to go to Infowars.com in order to get to find his channel because it's gone. They took it off of YouTube a long time ago because he exposed a lot of stuff, like the chemtrails and the hormone inducing drugs and all that, and people transgendering and stuff. He just made fun of it. Shoot, yeah, that's. I haven't really explored anything because I don't want to make my life more complicated. I'd rather just have one platform and that's it, and just leave it at that. It's kind of like having too much clothes and stuff. It's too complicated. It just makes everything just messy and too much stuff. You can't think too many things. Oh, you think Alex Jones is dead? I did, but I don't think he's really legit. I found some channels give great information, but then slip in really bad stuff. Are you talking about Alex Jones? Or are you talking about Owen Benjamin channel? I mean, I like Owen Benjamin okay, but it's not my favorite. I mean, I appreciate him only because my boyfriend likes his channel. So, but I don't go out of my way to watch it. It's, I don't know. I'm not too interested in what he says, and not too much Alex Jones either, except for maybe if something pops up. What's a dub site? Oh, you talking about social influences? You're talking about Alex Jones, and I'm sure you know Owen Benjamin because he has a lot of subscribers, and his channel's probably popped up a lot on the search engines, so he's very common. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they say the government's got underground bases too. So when things hit the fan, they've already got themselves covered, and then we're stuck up here being poisoned and possibly dying, right? The FEMA camps, right? Everyone's talking about those, where we're all going to be put in a gulag. Yeah, I'm keeping the camera pushed this way because my son sometimes he'll walk through here, and I don't want to have him in the video, so I have to keep it pushed this way so he doesn't end up in the video. So that would be kind of weird. How do I delete that? I can't like block it out that area. But I have it facing the other way, but I don't want my son to accidentally walk through the room because he doesn't understand that I'm recording. He doesn't know what I'm doing. And he's not part of the video. He just watches his little YouTube stuff that, you know, that he likes, his games and all that he likes. Many of them. I'm now suspicious of anything that pops up first in the search engine. Yep. Yeah. Just like I said, there's this one guy, it's called Tim Cast, and I think his name is Tim Cast, and he plays both sides of the field, and he talks about Democrats in a derogatory way that they're crazy and stuff, and then he doesn't like Republicans either, but he always votes for Democrats. So I'm not really sure what his angle is, but I know he gets a lot of views. He gets thousands of views every day, and it's like by the end of the day, he's got like freaking 300,000 views. And I know a lot of conservatives watch his channel more than Democrats. I think a lot of Republicans like me. I watch it, but there's something funny about that guy. And when he said he supported Tulsi Gabbard and Elizabeth Warren because he liked her viewpoint on censorship or whatever, it's like, yeah, she might be right on that, on the censorship, Elizabeth Warren, but everything else she's wrong. So it's not enough to make me support her. And how do you know that she's going to crack down on censorship? Because you don't know if she is or not. She might just be saying that because she's trying to be popular. She's trying to sound different and funky, and she really not. She's no different than the rest of the Democrat candidates. She's no better. And the only choice we have is really Trump, President Trump. I mean, that's all we have. Everybody else, I don't know about them. I don't know. I don't know if I can trust them. I don't even know who I can trust after he leaves office because everybody seems to be two-faced snakes, even the ones you thought were legitimate that supported conservatism. Then they start faltering and compromising, and you don't know what the hell happened to them. They all bowed down to the left, which is slowly taking away our rights and our rights to have freedom of speech. So, one sec, damn Wi-Fi. Another influencer, good information, then wham, in comes the problem. Conservatives are targeted, so there are lots of pretenders. Yep. Yeah, remember Obama promised to bring jobs back to the US? He didn't bring anything here. He's like, "Oh, I created jobs." No, what he did was he created a bunch of temporary jobs. They weren't even permanent positions. And he just added to the debt that Bush initially put on the country because he kept adding all these new social programs. They're all a bunch of excess fat we didn't even need, but they're apparently we needed them. Yeah, and you know what? I'm glad he's gone. And if I saw him on the street, I wouldn't care because He's nothing but the past now. You just look at him in the rearview mirror and keep going. I'm not gonna engage in talking about him because it's just toxic, just talking about these evil people. And I never liked him from the beginning, and my parents supported Obama, and I thought they were foolish for supporting him. But you know what? They learned their lesson because they voted for him twice. Because my dad, he's crazy. My dad's like, "Oh, I'm a registered Republican, but I always vote Democrat." And I'm like, "What? That doesn't make any sense. Why are you registered Republican and always vote Democrat? That doesn't make sense. Just unregister for and register to vote as a Democrat. Why don't you just register as a Democrat? At least be honest." And now he's like reaping the benefits of there being President Trump and all the new things he's bringing in, and that he's not going to let other countries take advantage of us with their um, import taxes and all that. Yeah, so my dad is fake and he's weak. And I think he supports Democrats because my mom does. So he just does whatever she says. Even though he says he's a Republican, he's registered Republican. And I've had many arguments with them about Democrats, and they don't listen anyway. Why don't the corporations have their call centers here in this country? The money they take for every service is high, but don't put anything back. Yeah. It's like whenever you call and you complain about something, it's always somebody from another country. It's never in this country because they just want to pay cheap labor. They don't want to pay living wages to people. I don't think that's going to change either. I think it's just going to stay the same. I don't think things are just suddenly going to get better. I think things are just going to stay stagnant and then totally explode and implode once the Democrat gets in. Yeah, so I'm not even registered to vote anymore because I didn't want to get jury duty. And my one vote doesn't matter anyway, that I wasn't able to vote for Donald Trump as president. So I'm not going to do that. Why don't they? I got that. Yep, it is. Well, it's going on 2 hours, 18 minutes, and 21 seconds. The last one I did was 4 hours long. So I'm glad I did this earlier because if I did it later, I'd be a zombie. I'd have to put an alarm clock right in my face and have it ring right in my eyeball just to wake me up so I wouldn't sleep in like a grizzly bear. Because I had a heck of a time waking up this morning. My son had to wake me up because I didn't get up on time. And normally I have a good clock in my brain, but somehow my clock got screwed up. But it's okay because I've just discovered that this is something I really like to do. Oh, you're a night person? Yeah, a lot of stuff happens at night when we're sleeping probably. We don't even realize it. There's probably like shooting stars and stuff, and there's probably like uh maybe even the angels of the people that died, maybe their spirits are in the sky and the stars where God is. And we don't see them because we're sleeping, but they're smiling down on us and they're hoping that the majority of the people wake up and realize that Jesus is the Messiah. Yeah, I used to stay up late too. Me and my sister used to call it burning the midnight oil. We used to watch I think it was called Night Flicks or something. And we watch these movies all night long. And the sun would come out and we were still watching it. And my mom would come down the stairs and say, "What the heck? Why didn't you go to bed?" She'd be all mad. We had this TV that had the wood paneling on it, big heavy TV. It was on the floor, just watching these Netflix movies. I used to watch TBS with the Joe Bob Briggs in the Monster Vision. Watch them all night. Yeah, I'd like to think that the spirits of people that died, they're like little stars in the sky, right? Because there's so many stars that's their spirits that are blinking in the sky, waiting for us to join them eventually. And I don't believe in coincidences either. I think there's a reason why we have what we have, why we have live stream, and why I still have my channel. And in the my son right now, he's really happy because he saw he's got two presents under the tree already, and it's not even Christmas. He's really excited about what it is. Plus, he got a new tablet from his grandma. She bought him a tablet for his birthday, and he wants to open it up and use it, but we haven't opened it up yet. So that was nice of her. There's some good things in the world, nice things. I mean, what's not to like? My child is a very sweet boy, and he always behaves himself. So he's like the ideal child if you wanted to have a child. That's the kid you want. I mean, that's just me. But everyone that's met my son has said he's a good boy and very well behaved. Teachers like him, bus driver likes him. So my parents are missing out on a lot by not being around. But everybody that's met my son loves him. God is waking people up. The Holy Spirit is moving. He's here on YouTube. I have a story about when someone died and the beautiful thing that happened. I'll save it for the next time. You are blessed. I'm happy for you. Yeah, I was saying that last night. I'm glad I have my 9-year-old son because if I didn't have him right now, I wouldn't have much because I lost my other son. I know he's happy where he's at, but in deep in my heart, I always feel that loss that he was never really in my life. Oh, Joe Bob Briggs is on YouTube. Does he still do the Monster Vision? Because he used to be on TBS and he'd do Monster Vision, and me and my sister used to watch it, and we watched these weird movies that were like almost like the movie It, just really strange, scary movies. We like being scared. It's fun, I guess. And then even though we had ghosts roaming around our house, but still like to watch scary movies with these little ghosty poos hanging around me like a fog. It's just the repeats of the old ones. Oh, I see. It's not. He hasn't done anything new. Yeah, that would be nostalgic to watch that because it reminded me of the old days back before we had computers and all that stuff. All we had was the Apple computer, but it was that you couldn't have one at home. There was no personal computers. They were just in offices and stuff. Like we had old Apple computers at school, and it was called Typing Tutor, and it was a blinking green square, and all you could do was type on it. And I don't even think they had a printer back then. It's just typing. But I remember I kind of liked it a little bit, but it was no different than using a typewriter, just a blinking green square. And that was the same year that I did typing tutor that the Challenger exploded on live TV. They had the TV on in there in the computer room. They used to call it the lab, computer lab, and all it was a blinking green square, and it was just typing tutor. And I remember there was the, that was the day that the Challenger exploded, and we watched it live on TV. Yeah, that was crazy. And I didn't know what to think when I saw that. It was just really weird. And people have their theories on that one too, on the Challenger. They think that those people actually didn't die, that the ship actually didn't go out of the atmosphere. It just curved curved like it does, like there's round, so it curved because there's a barrier firmament, and the escape pod just landed in the ocean, and the passengers swam to the shore, and then they disappeared, and then there was a hoax created that they died. I don't know, but there's people that said that they think they seen them as older people, those passengers of that Challenger. It's a lot of conspiracy theories that we're all being lied to and duped, that those people actually didn't die on the Challenger. I don't know. Probably it's most likely they died. Just the experiment didn't work. But they say, oh, we're going to go to Mars and we're going to build a space station on Mars. But yet they haven't built a space station on the moon. Makes no sense. Why wouldn't you build it on the moon? The moon's closer. Oh, it's just so depressing, right? The thought of these channels disappearing. Yeah, that's what my boyfriend said too. Mars is BS. We're not landing on Mars. There's no way. There's no way. In the Bible, it says there's a firmament, which means there's a barrier we can't cross over. We can look at it with the telescope. We can look at the planets, but we can't go out of the firmament. We can't break through. And they're trying to say, oh, there's global warming and the sun. There's no more the what's called the greenhouse gases are eating away the ozone layer, and more sun is getting through. The ultraviolet rays are getting through, and the Earth is heating up. And it's not true because it's actually we're having colder winters now, so it's not actually heating up, and the ice caps are growing. So we're just being duped and lied to. Oh, BitChute, is that related to DLive? Because I don't like DLive too much. DLive's kind of crappy. I don't really like DLive. So do you already have an account on BitChute? You already have a account where you can look at people's ac- look at their channels. Yeah, that sucks. If it really is going to happen in January that they're going to cut off channels that aren't generating money for YouTube, that's messed up because YouTube is going to experience a lot of people dropping off of it, and I think they should think twice before they do that. Seriously, because how do you think we got Donald Trump? We got it because people were screwing us over. Some are already on BitChute, and you haven't got an account there yet. It's because you don't probably aren't interested in creating a channel probably for yourself because you don't make video. You said you don't make videos because you're not into it, I guess. That's cool though that you don't mind just being a commenter and not a contributor. You don't have to make videos. Yeah, it's all about like I'll get recommended for you and it's like CNN or something or some liberal channel that they're promoting. And it's like I don't want to watch their take on it because it's just nothing but propaganda against right-wing people. But I'm sure ABL you're happier because I'm doing this earlier instead of later because you probably didn't get much sleep either last night. That's probably not good for your health to stay up all night. Because in my schedule, I don't even know if I have to work because it seems like I'm not accusing anyone of anything at my job, but it seems like they're deliberately cutting my hours and not giving me any work because I've seen maids that I work with, I've seen them in town and I've seen them in their uniform working on days that they said I don't have to work. So apparently there's enough work for 2 or 3 maids, but not me. So that's nice. But I'm not going to say anything because I'm the newest hire and I've been there less than 6 months. so I'm not gonna rock the boat. So I'm just gonna take whatever scraps they throw at me, and I'll just do that. Just enough to pay a couple of my bills. You know what I mean? Just take what I can get. Because I don't want to start out somewhere new. I don't like being a new person at a job. It's not fun. I mean, does anyone like being new? Not me. Oh, it's a climate change video. Send me a climate change. Yeah, they said that the ice caps are growing. The last time they went up to, I think it was Antarctica, to go check the ice caps, and they were actually growing. So I don't. It just it makes them look foolish. It makes the leftists look really foolish when their theories are debunked and they actually see the evidence that the ice caps aren't melting. They show polar bears, they're drowning. Look, the ice caps are melting. Look, the polar bears are drowning. They're floating on chunks of ice. And then they show a polar bear that's old and say, look at him, he's dying. It's like, well, he's dying because he's an old polar bear. Why don't you show a healthy polar bear that's eating a seal instead of an old polar bear that's laying around twitching? Because it's an old polar bear. It's all propaganda. Oh, so you saw that, huh? Did you watch it on Alex Jones? He was making fun of it, that they were teaching kids about the polar bears, and they filmed this one polar bear that was really old, and they tried to say it was sick. It's like, no, it's not sick. It's just an old polar bear. Yeah, see, we're all on the same wavelength there. We know we're being lied to, especially the evolutionary chart, and they try to say that millions and millions of years ago, and it's like, it's not possible because the Earth is only about 6,000 years old. Oh, we can prove how old everything is by carbon dating and say how old something is, say how old the Earth is and how old this petrified thing is, like petrified rocks and stuff. Or trees that became petrified rocks. And speaking of petrified, they try to say these that they brought home moon rocks from the moon, and it turned out it was not moon rocks. It was like petrified wood or something from the Earth. Yeah, so we're being lied to, constantly lied to. But I knew it back then. I knew it was all hogwash. And I'm glad I didn't sit there studying it for hours and hours, all these lies about the way we are and why we um, exist and all that. We came from monkeys, and it's like, no, because I don't even like bananas. I ain't no monkey. It's insane. Completely insane. But we got what? Was it 17th? We have 8 more days till Christmas, and a couple of people on here said they're not celebrating Christmas because obviously they don't have anyone to celebrate it with, which is sad. But you know what? Not everybody has the ideal life. That's why we watch these damn Christmas movies to try to feel better about it. That, oh, this is the way it should be, but it's not. Because we've fallen away from God and people have fallen away from their families. In the end, I don't know if we have to pay for our sins, right? Every time we've said the F word or said Lord's name in vain or whatever. And the other thing that seems unfair is people that are born in third world countries that don't know anything about God. I wonder if they have to burn in hell and never get a glass of water. Seems like God would give them a free pass because they didn't know, because they lived in a third world country. That seems kind of unfair. Oh yeah, remember the girl that I was talking about that earlier? Those three girls that saw Virgin Mary and they called it the Fatima or something. That was neat. I'd like to see a vision of the Virgin Mary or God, or Jesus or something. And I would tell everybody, and I wouldn't care if anybody thought I was crazy because it's the truth. And the truth is never going to change. It's always the same. There's never versions of it. It never changes. Truth is the truth. But yeah, I think they call it Fatima when you see a vision of God or you see a vision of Mary. It's called Fatima, I think. But I'm not really knowledgeable on that stuff. So I'm not going to go too deeply into it because I haven't read a Bible in a while. So, but I did tell Barb Arnetta on her channel because she had quite a few trolls on her channel that were writing things that were really mean. And I told her, I said, I wouldn't worry about it. I said, even Jesus had trolls. They were called Pharisees and they trolled him all the time. And look where it got him nowhere. And I think a lot of people that don't believe in Jesus, that are Jews, that deny Christ, I think they should believe in Jesus because there's so much proof that he was here. And all they have to do is look under the Holy Land and they can find the Ark, which is has the commandments in it, and it's got the blood of Christ right there. It's got the Holy Grail, the Ten Commandments, and Moses' staff, right? That he parted the Red Sea with. I think those are the things that are in the Ark. It's true, but they said it that Israel is buried under tons of like rock and stuff. All the original land of the Holy Land. It's got all this stuff built on top of it. That eventually it'll be uncovered. Maybe during the second coming of Christ, right? They'll It'll all be unburied. It'll all be uncovered. And even then, the Democrats and the liberals and the atheists still won't believe, even though they could carbon date it to be old. So they say, it's just, yeah, right. Yeah. I never believed in evolution. Well, I got one person watching, and it's you, Aviel, right? You're still watching. And I really appreciate you watching. And I know you said that you don't have anyone to celebrate Christmas with. You know what you should do if you don't have anyone to celebrate Christmas with? You know, how I've noticed that there's some people that are older, like old people that are lonely, and they need someone to talk to, or they just like to hang out with somebody that enjoys their company. Maybe you should do that, like go to a nursing home and spend Christmas with people that wouldn't have any otherwise someone visit them, even someone who's really sick. You know what I mean? And it might make you feel better too, because if you don't have anybody, it would probably make their day. It would make their day to make your day. Because I know there's a lot of people probably in nursing homes that are lonely and they'd like to have company because maybe their own family doesn't care about it. Well, that's nice that you've already done that. But at least, when you visit the person, the last memory they had before they died is that someone actually cared enough about them to spend time with them, even if it wasn't their own family. Yeah, I've noticed that when I worked as a housekeeper at this other place, there was this lady that was staying there, and she was an older person, and she kept trying to talk to me all the time because she was lonely and nobody wanted to talk to her really. And her house got flooded, and she's kind of a lonely person. She had to stay at the hotel because she had to have the house repaired because there was water damage, and she was staying at the hotel. She kept trying to talk to me all the time, but I didn't have time because too busy working. But that's, you see a lot of things. Got close to some who are now dead. Well, hopefully their spirit is looking down on you and they're bringing you comfort. The ones that you gave comfort to, they're bringing you comfort because you actually cared enough about them to talk to them. Yeah, a lot of people in nursing homes, I think, are lonely and they just want someone to hang out with them and talk to them, even though they can't do a lot. because the nurses and stuff are too busy probably to talk to him. They're too busy working. My mom is a visiting nurse, and she's seen a lot of them die. So sad. There's a lot of lonely people just want someone to talk to that actually cares enough about him to talk to him. My son's trying to get into his Christmas presents, but I know what he's doing, and he's not going to do that. Right, Nicholas? Right, Nicholas? Don't open your presents because that's not okay. But he'll probably do it anyway when I'm not looking. But that's kids, though. I remember peeling back the paper on the Christmas presents when we used to get donations from churches or something. We used to peel back the paper and peek and then put the tape back on it, and put it back. Yeah, because you're excited because you want to know what's in it. I remember I got a Alvin, Simon, and Theodore dolls in for a present one year, and it was a charity thing that the charity brought presents for us because the school, I guess, found out that we were poor, and my mom was really angry that they brought presents, that they dropped off presents for us, and we were able to still keep them, but my mom never liked that. She never liked charity, bringing charity into our house. She always resented it because she always thought, "Oh, well, I don't need your help." But, it is what it is. They overwork the staff in those places. Yeah. I don't wanna work in a nursing home personally because I have arthritis and I have a hard time taking care of myself sometimes. I couldn't lift a heavy person off a bed or something and bathe him. Oh, yeah, I saw that, yeah, he just passed right behind me. Oh god. That's why I had to turn the camera. So I kept it in the corner because it's too much of a vantage point for things to go by. Who's by the camera? Just the cat, you know? Yeah, she should have been happy that people wanted to help us, but she never was. She always resented it. But it made us happy that we actually got presents because it's such a we had so few things to look forward to, being poor and my mom being screwed up. Oh god, yeah, if he had the cat on his head, it'd be double trouble. I mean, shoot, it's like every time I film a video, I gotta make sure it's pushed up against a wall or something and turned the other way. It's just such a stupid rule with this YouTube with don't have children or something in the video. It's like, okay, well, that makes it hard if you're using a laptop or something to not have something spontaneously like someone walk past you really fast or have the cat dash across the keyboard or something. It's like, that's not fair. It just happens. What am I gonna do? Put the cat in the other room or something, shut the door? I'm not gonna torture the cat so he's not in the video. It's funny though, huh? To say that, yeah, the cat on his head, that'd have been double trouble. Yeah, and you know what? People that are liberal that have videos, it probably doesn't even matter if they have kids in their video because they're not being censored and they're probably not gonna lose their channel anyway. They probably won't even get a strike on their channel. Nothing. And they probably don't lose subscribers or anything or views. And they probably are monetized, everything. They have super chat. Plus they could have a parade of cats and kids running past, even though it's not for kids. As long as they have the right political views, it probably doesn't matter. But if I lose my channel, it's just a bunch of videos of me doing this. So what did I lose? I still got it up here in my brain. Everything I put up is already still in my brain. It's not gone. So just like if you made a video, it's all up in here in your brain. Never forget things that you know. All they did was physically take the channel down. They didn't take down stinking brain. It's still there. Is that child in drag dancing for men still being seen here? Oh yeah, I remember that story about the kid dancing for money or something. Yeah, they honor that, right? But they'll get mad if you have uh your child in your video for like 2 seconds running to his bedroom. Ooh, okay. That's why it doesn't make sense to me. And they're censoring everything. And people said they don't find out about these live chats until like an hour later. Then they get the alert that somebody's that they've subscribed to is doing a live chat, and it's always conservative people. What a bunch of horse shit. I'm sorry about the shit, but it's horse pookie, you know? It's fully dark where I'm at, and we're supposed to have this insane weather coming by midnight. We're supposed to have stupid snow and stuff. It's supposed to snow all the way down to 1,000 feet. And in the morning it sucks because the locks get frozen on the car, and we have to put hot water on the locks to open the damn door. Um, it's so annoying. I wish I lived in a nice warm climate like Hawaii or something. Just get rid of all the liberals out of Hawaii and I'll live there. And if the volcano goes off, I'll just get on a boat and get the hell out of there. But in the meantime, I love the sunny beaches. I love warm weather. I love the sound of water. That's what I like. But it's not practical. But I've heard that there's cockroaches on the beach and stuff like that. But I've already worked with cockroaches at my job, so we're kind of friends anyway. I have no beef with cockroaches. As long as they don't come to my house, I can visit them on a impersonal level. If it's because if you aren't pushing the right agenda, you can't be child friendly. But if you're pushing corrupt agenda, your channel will get promoted. Yeah, basically. That's what it is. Yeah, I think that COPA law is like it's just basically informally threatening conservative channels that you better toe the damn line or you're going to lose your channel, isn't it? They're just warning us ahead of time. It's a disclosure. Like, we've already warned you, and they're going to find some reason to kick you off. Hi, Barb Aranata. I watched your feed earlier, and you gave me a wrench, and I really appreciate it. I didn't even know what the hell I was doing when you gave me the wrench. It's like, hopefully, I don't end up um, silencing someone that didn't do anything wrong. But I figured it out after a few minutes. It was cool. I liked it. Actually, gave me some liberation, even though I'm not a libertarian, but it gave me liberation. It's to silence it's to silence truth and different opinions. Yeah, yeah. I'm just glad I got a wrench. I don't have enough people watching to put any more wrenches on anyone. Because then you just have to wrench each other, like bam, bam. Oh wait, you didn't say anything wrong. You just be like toasting beers with all the wrenches. Like we all agree with each other. Yay. But you know what? I don't want trolls anyway, because I don't need a bunch of negative stuff. Unless I was talking about Bernie Sanders or something. If I labeled my live stream Bernie Sanders, oh my God, all the Bernie people would come on here, and then you guys would have to smack him hard with the wrenches. So I'm not going to put up anything about Bernie Sanders, and everyone knows about him, right? Free stuff, free healthcare for everybody, and I'm going to close down all the oil and all the and coal and everything, and I'm gonna give people that don't deserve it reparations, and I'm gonna keep the borders open. Yeah, it's too bad for Susan Walding's channel. I don't know. She's probably never gonna do any more videos about the dam. Maybe she got burned on it and she just didn't want to do it anymore. She'd been doing it for years, right? I think she'd been covering it for years, and people weren't really listening to her. I think she kind of gave up. It's just a lost cause. It's sad because it's the largest earthen dam in the entire country, and nobody seems to care about the condition of it. They just figure, who cares? Until it breaks, nobody gives two craps. People are just doing la di da, and they don't even care that they have this huge, gigantic wall of water that's going to spill over and completely flood the Central Valley and kill off all of the fruits and nuts and all the crops and ruin homes and ruin lives. But yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I don't care until the damn thing breaks. Hmm. Yada, yada, yada. That's California for you. And people laugh at our state and say, you deserved it. You deserve to have it flood, whatever. It's like, no, I don't. Because I don't want my state turning into a piece of crap. So I happen to love my state. Oh, I used to whack away on some truth channels. Uh, Free stuff is always a lie. Nothing's free. Yeah, Bernie. Yeah, he's always. Yeah, yeah. You see him. He has like YouTube ads that come on. Like they'll deliberately put a Bernie Sanders ad on a conservative channel before the channel starts, and it's like, why is anyone listening to that stupid guy? Yeah, free stuff equals less freedom. Because he's like, I'm not a, I'm a, what do you say? He's a socialist something. I'm not a communist. I'm a socialist. No, you're not. You're a communist too. I think it was supposed to go down last year, but too many became aware of the corruption. Hmm. Yeah, did you see Barb when she called the Department of Water Resources and she wanted to talk to some representative about the cameras not working at the Oroville Dam? They gave her a cell phone number. She called it and it wasn't even a good number. It was doo doo doo. You have reached a number that's no longer in service or disconnected. And then she's like, the woman on the phone told her, "Oh, if you can't get a hold of her, just or you can't get a hold of this lady, just call us back." And they're just going to give her the runaround. And I don't recommend she call back because she might have trolls go after her. So I just leave it alone. She got her answer. They're not going to give us any answers. Yeah, and the Department of Water Resources is now, obviously not Department of Water Resources. The Army of Engineers are now in charge of the dam because it's such a massive, massive thing. And yet we don't see any improvements being done to it, even though they've had the whole summer to fix it. So we'll see when all this water comes in, all this new rainwater, if it's going to hold by spring, if it's going to pop like a defective piece of crap. Can't even think of the word for it. That's the push to try to separate the two, but it's communism soft sell. Yeah, yeah, he's just stupid. He's reparations, gun control, um, open borders, free health care for everybody, uh, reparations, um, raising the taxes on the very rich, no coal, no oil, no, basically just nothing. I don't think it can be fixed. Those hills were leaking like sieve. Yeah, I just hope they fixed it during the summer because during the summer when we were watching it, we couldn't really see what was going on. We couldn't see what they were doing to the dam. We couldn't see it. I know that they were at the bottom of the dam, the base part of it, doing something, but people theorized that they were taking home pay dirt, which is, gold, I guess, and panning it. And that's all they were doing. They weren't actually working. I don't know because there's a lot of gold in the river. So who knows what they're doing. I had a lot of trolls that used to screw with me when I did videos on the Oroville Dam. A lot of these trolls would say, I work for whatever it was called, that one company that built the spillway. And he was saying, I'm the one who put the rebar in. What are you trying to say? I didn't do it right? It's like, why are you wasting your time on my channel arguing with me? And I doubt you put the rebar in because you look like an inbred hick from your profile picture, and you kept following me around and stuff, and I had to ban you from my channel. And he's still banned from my channel, and I know he's the one always thumbing down every channel I do. So I know he follows me around like a stalker. Laugh out loud, right? Like you couldn't let it go. I know you want to see me with a headstone, right, Chilcott? If you're watching this, but you can't comment because you're banned. I have to go. Some things need to get done. Thanks for the great conversation. Bye, all. Have a blessed night. All right, bye, Aviel. You're always very faithfully watching, and I appreciate that. And hopefully you find somebody to have Christmas with, because that would suck to be by yourself. Because you still got 8 days to go round somebody up and make them sit with you, right? Just anybody. So that way you're not spending Christmas by yourself, staring out a window, feeling like crap. I hope your boyfriend is on the mend. Yeah, he's on the mend. Thank you for asking. Well, hello, there's another person, Bulldog Samurai. How's it going? I've been doing this for almost 3 hours. So I'm getting close to my record I had last night, which was 4 hours. And at the very end, I was talking about Star Wars, and I don't know anything about Star Wars, but it went pretty long. Oh, yeah. See you later, Shannon. Shayna, sorry. Shayna. I liked your name, by the way. But I'm glad you guys tuned in and you got some different information from what you normally watch. My channel is very different, as you can see. It's very different. It's not graphic or anything. I don't have any graphics, like high-tech stuff on the screen that makes your eyes glitter. It's just me. But I do love those hearts on there. Thank you, Barb. Those are very nice. I'm not very girly, but I do like girly stuff sometimes. Even though I kind of have like a country twang to my voice. And if people don't see who I am and I just comment on channels, sometimes people assume I'm a dude because I kind of have manly kind of opinions, I guess. But I'm not a man. I'm called a man, which is really funny. Like some people, when I do those anti Bernie Sanders, I'd have someone say, "Oh, you look like Caitlyn Jenner," and I was like, "Probably because she has dark hair and dark eyes like me, and he has long hair and he wears a skirt. So chances are, yeah, he probably looks like every woman that has dark hair and dark eyes. Yeah, stupid idiot. Me and a million other women, dark hair and dark eyes. Shh. I got a good laugh out of it though. Whatever. I'm secure in being female. I don't. I'm not a man, so I kind of laughed at it. It's pathetic. They're like, if they have nothing else on you, they call you. They say you're a man. It's like okay, but you people on the left are the one promoting all this transgender stuff. Isn't that considered hateful to say things like that to make fun of somebody? So they're really stupid. They just like all the free stuff and they like Bernie Sanders and they want people to pay them to sit on their butt. And the reason I'm sitting on my butt or have been sitting on my butt is because my job hasn't been giving me any work. And if they do give me work, I'll drive over there and go to work. But if they don't have any work, I'm not doing anything. I'm not burning no gas. Because burning gas means spending money, and I'm not spending no money. But I'm glad about the people that have tuned in or have been watching. I really appreciate you guys. And I don't know when you got your notifications or when they came up, probably hours later or 2 hours later. And then you finally were able to see that I had a video. And I put up a scheduled one and it didn't let me click. It's all the webcam is not connected. Your encoder is not compatible. I'm like, what? I just compatible the damn thing. Whatever. I'm not setting up a scheduled one. I'm just going to do one randomly and it's just going to go here it is, because I can't do a schedule. I can't set up my own schedule. So it's like, whatever. I'm not going to download a bunch of stuff on my computer because I already had to download a bunch of stuff just to get it like this. I know some people on here are probably very, oh, Barb, you just saw it, huh? It didn't alert you till later, huh? Or you were probably busy doing something else, so, or sleeping, probably, because you said you weren't feeling good. So I'm just glad you came in. We were just talking about space and all that and all kinds of things. And that my kid walked past the screen and I had to turn this turn the laptop over towards the wall, which is not a very nice vantage point, staring at a corner of a wall, but I can't have kids or cats running by. I have to keep them out of the video, and kids and cats are kind of random when they walk by. They're just kind of like, oh, here I am. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's how it is. And I don't want to get in trouble. Oh, Bulldog Samurai, you didn't get alert. Well, isn't that nice? So I have, just like Barb, she's got her subscribers and probably most of her, if not all of, or most of her subscribers, I should say, probably aren't getting alerted either when she is live either. So she's losing a lot of people too that aren't even knowing that she's putting stuff up. And she's putting good stuff up and people aren't even getting the damn alerts. Maybe more people would be more aware of the damn chemicals in the air if they were able to get damn YouTube alerts about a live stream. Yeah, and I don't have that many subscribers, but they're probably not getting alerts either. And you guys are getting them late. And when you get them, it's like I'm basically ready to wrap it up. I'm going, okay, well, good night or good afternoon. Have a nice day. And I might do another one tomorrow. That's what I do. I was pushed off of the feed 3 times in the last hour. How come they pushed you off? That's weird. Why would they push you off? Because they don't want nobody on here. They want people off. They only want maybe allow a couple of people and then they'll buffer it and all kinds of stuff to make it stupid and lame. And then people just click off of it because it's not working right. And I've seen tons of people get that done to them when I've watched people that are really important that I really like. And they're saying something real important and then the speed starts buffering and or it starts skipping really bad and it's choppy. Yeah. See, I just said that the screen just froze up. Yeah, they're not allowing me to have a video and I don't get that many views to begin with, so I don't consider it to be a threat. I don't see why it's a threat to them. I'm not saying anything that's out of line. I'm just saying things that you guys probably say. It's not that big of a deal. It's not like I'm Mark Dice or something and I'm making fun of Cenk Unger or something, poking fun at him, even though he's running for the 25th district in my state. I think it's the 25th district, replacing this woman that stepped down because she's immoral and he is bad. He's like into bestiality and Bernie Sanders supported him and then Bernie Sanders had to unsupport him, not because of the bestiality. It's because Bernie Sanders said he made fun of some woman and was being chauvinistic. So Bernie Sanders had to un support him. And then St. Unger's like, oh, I don't need anyone supporting me anyway. I don't need promotion because I'm such a badass that I don't need anyone. He's so secure in his position that he thinks he's going to get elected that seat. So our state is just being taken over by these immoral pieces of crap. And that guy is a weirdo. He thinks it's okay to have you know what with animals and that women are just for breeding or something and animals are for SEX. The dude is disgusting. This state is completely full of demons. I hate this. I really hate this. I just clicked over on accident. Sorry. I ended up clicking on some video on accident and my hand slipped. So change froze. Then I reloaded it. Yeah, see, they don't want Barb having any views either. She has over 700 subscribers, and she only gets like maybe 10 people of that watching her live streams, and that's not fair. It's not fair. She should have at least half of her subscribers watching her live, and then updating people on the information and telling people to watch other channels, and we could network and all that, but they're not allowing her to do that. They're not allowing me to do that. They're not allowing a lot of people that are right wing do that. They're not allowed to do that. YouTube system isn't as good as they say. They are lean on memory. That is why they are shutting down channels. Well, get rid of the stinking channels that are immoral. Throw those ones off. Get rid of all those. Get rid of CNN's channel. Get rid of them. No one watches them anyway. I don't watch CNN. So throw off their CNN channel. Throw off MSNBC, blah, 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 the rest of them. Throw off all those mainstream channels. No one watches their uploads. I don't watch none of their crap because it's all like, is Donald Trump going to be impeached? I don't care about CNN asking if he's going to be impeached. So they don't have enough memory. So they're buff. That's why the channel buffers when you try to put a live stream up. So they're cutting the fat, right? Basically. So we're the fat that they want, and they just happen to use us as an excuse. So they're throwing the baby out with the bathwater. That's what they're doing. That's why they're getting rid of us. But you know what? We're gonna go to another thing. We're probably gonna go to BitChute or something and try to make a channel there. People that have channels here, and eventually they're gonna boot people off of there, right? Once we start to make an impact over there, then they'll boot us off there. And then where do we have to go? We don't have hardly anywhere to go. Are you gonna give people your email address or something? Or I guess you could Skype people, like do a large scale Skype and communicate with people. Oh, it's just sick. Just totally sick. Or we could have like people could do meeting places or something and have round table discussions or large scale discussions, kind of like a Trump rally. Mm. Yeah, you're probably right, Bulldog. Yeah, they're gonna just kick us off and use the excuse that they don't have enough memory on their website to keep everybody all on. But yet they have plenty of room for everybody else, right? Everybody else who sucks that nobody wants to watch. The Streamy Awards, all these people that are weirdos, they're all they're all not going to get kicked off, and they have hundreds of videos or more, and they have millions of views, and they're all monetized and everything, and they all or you could tell they're all just privileged people. They were all privileged before they became a YouTuber, but people like us, nobody seems to care about. Well, there's two of you guys left on here. Yeah, it only shows two people watching. The rest everybody's off, I guess, or they found something else to do. I wouldn't be surprised if they shut your channel. They are probably targeting no activity channels. Yeah, I just say thank you, and then they say you're welcome after they kick me off. I didn't know that. Yeah, they probably will. I'll probably wake up one morning and I'll go to open up my YouTube account and it'll probably be deleted and say I have no videos, nothing. Yeah, they probably will. And I'll have to start over somewhere else. I'll have to make another videos on another forum. Either I just don't make any more videos. And then you're never gonna know what happened to the people that I don't like in my real life, as if anyone notices or cares. Well, Barb, do you think your channel is gonna get axed, or do you think you're gonna still survive after January? Do you think you're gonna still be up? It's hard to say. But you got a lot of trolls, so you must be making some kind of impact on people. Because if you weren't, you wouldn't have trolls. You wouldn't have trolls coming on your channel, screwing around, writing disgusting things. So you think your channel's gonna stay up, huh? I don't think so. Too many one video channels out there. They have to clean it up eventually. Well, I hope my channel ain't deleted because I got more than one video. And so far I've been making videos a lot. I mean, they don't get a lot of views, but I do make a lot of videos because I get a lot of ideas. Like I'll watch something and I get really mad and I'll make a video about it. But I guess if they're gonna have to let me go, they'll have to let me go. Yeah, I've noticed that there's a lot of one video channels. They have one video and like 3 subscribers. Yeah, those ones will probably get booted off. Probably because they're inactive accounts. Because obviously they're not doing much to get more subscribers. Probably they made like one video and then they got 2 subscribers from it and they never made any more videos. Probably because they just watch videos and they don't make videos. I'm sure that's what it is. But I enjoy making videos. I mean, I didn't used to make a lot of videos when I worked at my other job because I didn't have time and I was too tired. But now that I've been not working for the past whatever, now I've made more. So, well, I'm gonna close this out because I can't come up with anything new to talk about, and I gotta we gotta have our dinner, stuff like that. But I'm gonna be waiting for that stupid storm to come in and ruin the roads, and I probably won't even be able to leave my driveway. And that's another video, right? Eventually, whenever I make one. But I hope everybody here has a great night and watch something inspiring and something that'll cheer you up. You don't have to look at this, read and watch negative stuff. All right. Well, everybody have a wonderful night. Thank you for watching my channel.